Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Miami ESC Valorant. My name is Trey Linkling-Moss, and I'm here with
Lucas White.
And tonight we're back with another match against Northern Illinois NIU. The Miami team is looking to come back from their last two-loss streak here. I know they've been doing some scrims in between these two matches here today. Doubleheader weeks. There's not too much time to prepare, but the team's been doing best they can. And these last couple of matches have been against both Akron and CMU. Both were unfortunate 0-2 losses, but NIU currently has a 1-2 record. They won against BGSU and lost to Ohio and Kent State University. So they're looking to maybe bring that record to an even record, and we're just looking to get on the board in general. But I'm filling in tonight for another one of our casters who's unfortunately out sick tonight. Rest in peace, Aaron. He's fine, but he's not here today. And so since I haven't been here, do you want to kind of recap for me and the viewers kind of how those last two matches went, and maybe how you could think the players could prepare for this next match going forward?
Yeah, of course. First off, in our first match we went against Akron, that was our first time showing up as a team, and we kind of knew there might be a little bit of some rough edge. They might be a little rough around their edges here, but it more showed that they were playing like it was a comp match rather than like a trying to be a little bit more professional here. There was a lot of peeking with unnecessary angles. A lot of fighting. There was a lot of fighting mid against like the Chamber. I don't remember his name anymore, but that Chamber gave them a lot of trouble that game, and consistently he was getting like 1, 2, sometimes even like 4 Ks in one round before he went down. And they just kept up giving up people, not trading, not playing off of each other, and that just kind of got to him in the end. It was Tuesday. That was against who was that against?
CMU. On Tuesday,
CMU.
yeah.
That's right. Okay. Against CMU, they had a lot of really good rounds. They came back a little bit. They held a 14-12. Ended up losing that, sadly. But that was because every round when they did win, it would be by like 1 or 2 people maybe. And so slowly their economy took a hit from that, and they couldn't keep up as eventually CMU was pulling away. So they've been playing well. That last game that they played very well. They played together, and hopefully they just hit their shots tonight and are able to play together and trade. That's really what we're looking forward to here.
Yeah, we're going to see for this Miami team is I know they've been talking a lot about taking angles, taking trades together, and not just swinging as the one, or maybe going a little bit too early, not being well communicated. So hopefully, like you said, if maybe their practices leading up to this, they've worked a little bit more on communicating on when to swing together, when to take those fights together, rather than just swinging right into a crosshair and you're already down a player, which is can still up pretty quickly into a round loss. So I hope they can work on that going forward. But I believe Prod just gave us notes that our maps are going to be Corrode, Bind, and Split today. And I believe from what we heard from the players, we chose Corrode and they chose Bind, which is a bit interesting. Miami typically is a little bit better on Bind, so it might have been something that I might be looking forward to seeing. But NIU picking that might give Miami a little bit of doubts about that map. Maybe they're feeling extra confident on that map. But I did see from the past scrims that they've been doing, they have been practicing Corrode a lot. It's the newest map in the game. It's a map I'm a little more unfamiliar with. So maybe they're looking to capitalize on sort of their extra scrim on that map and the newness of it. Maybe they can have some extra strategies that NAU might not be prepared for.
Definitely, definitely. And Split, that's a new one. We haven't seen that one yet. We've both seen Bind and Corrode. Corrode was the one that they ran last week. We had a little bit more trouble on that map, but Bind was the one that we went 12 and 14 on. They play very well on that map. We usually have a very good comp. The only problem with our comp is that we don't have a Sentinel. So those flanks are very open. But other than that, they do a very good job of holding their own and getting onto site or defending the site if we are on defense. Our hope now is that whatever happens on Split, I guess it just comes down to who's practiced more on it, who's played the most, because this is a first. This is the first time seeing that.
Yeah, first time playing it as a team in a match setting for Miami, that could make the map 3 a little bit volatile if we end up having to go that far. I hope we can just do a quick 2-0, go home, get tucked nice in the bed with a nice 2-0 win. But, if we do have to go to that split map, that could be a bit of a volatile section, because even if it's been scrimmed, even if it's been practiced, even though, that's one of the oldest maps in the game, it's completely different once you get into the match and you have to play against another team who's equally common, who wants to win equally as much. Especially in that map 3 scenario, the mentals are going to be a bit all over the place. So I'm really interested to see how that split map would go, but ideally, we just get Corrode Bind and get right out of here. But we'll see how that goes for the future. I believe we're starting Corrode on defense. Do you have any insight into how, the defense on Corrode might differ from, maybe starting on attack?
Not too much though. I haven't played much on it as well. I took a small break from Valorant, but I have seen them play Vice. I believe they ran Omen. I'm almost positive about that. Waylay is a huge one that's been coming up in the roster, especially with her new buffs. Scary Duel is very easy to be able to get some kills there. Really, it's just going to come down to if they're able to hold the sites. I mean, that mid is pretty scary, having them be able to push over from mid into just about either of the sites. They just have to hold that down, hopefully with some Sentinel utility, or just having a person there at all times. Holding down that mid is definitely going to be the most important part here, as it has access to everything. It can get you into the backside of both sites or get you into an angle that they could take you out on. I mean, really, this one's just going to be a slow match, I think. I think there's just going to be playing for time, trying to find those angles, trying to find those timings, and then getting onto site and plant down, and then all you got to do is sit and wait.
Yeah, I think like you're saying, especially on Corrode on defense, going too fast can really be your downfall. So I think maybe trying to play a little bit slower compared to maybe more aggressive play style that we've been used to might be a little bit better. And that Corrode mid is just one long sight line from essentially from defender spawn to attacker spawn. So it's really really scary to peek that, especially as an attacker. If maybe defender has like a sniper sitting at the other end. But once you get that mid control, it's just like you said, it's a straight line to either A or B site, whichever one you want to go to. So that mid control is going to be definitely something that both teams want to keep track of, and Miami's going to make sure that they don't give up mid too often to NIU, or otherwise they can just use that as a free pass to whatever site they choose. They might just get a pick on B and then send the rest of the team through mid to B, and that's that site pretty much taken right there. So that's something that we have to definitely keep in mind on as players are starting to strategize as we get into this next map. And what's interesting, we're talking about Corrode has such large volatile mid, and then we're going to go right into Bind, which has no mid at all. It just has those teleporters get through the map. So, it might be a little bit interesting to see how the teams bounce back in strategy between a map that has a really important mid site and a really not important mid site because it doesn't even exist.
Yeah. Something that we have seen is Miami will have two people when they have enough people, they'll have some split to one site and some split to another when they realize that they might start TPing. If the enemy starts grouping up long, that's immediately a sign, they're going to rotate. So you immediately have a couple of people leave while you have two others remain. They've done a pretty good job of that in the past. They've been able to keep up with that. I just hope that they're able to continually take out enemies, try to get like a little bit more of a numbers up on them, and then push ahead. We did see 2 rounds or a couple rounds last time, where they were able to get all of their teammates to stay alive, and then they were able to continue with that into the coming rounds, continue with that economy fourth, and hopefully they can do something like that, because losing guns round after round, even if you are winning, it's still going to take away from your economy, and eventually you will still have to run a save, even if you have been winning like the last 3, maybe 4 rounds. You just got to continue rolling with it.
Yeah, getting that snowball going is gonna be really important for this Miami roster because like we said, there's a new team. They're more likely to make mistakes. If they get that snowball going, maybe win the first 4 rounds, have a lot of guns, have a lot of money in their at their disposal. Maybe dropping a couple rounds toward the end of the half won't be so big of a deal, and it could still lead them to a round win. So that's what I hope to see. I think this pistol round is gonna be very important, as it always is. But I think especially for this Miami roster, getting that pistol round win and then snowballing it to a second round win, and then maybe even getting that fourth round win as soon as both teams have guns would be really huge for them going through the rest of this game. And yeah, I'm just excited to see how this corrode map will go. Do you have any more thoughts on this first map of today?
Genuinely, I don't have many.
You don't have too many. Well, I think the game's going to be going into just a little moment. The players are still getting ready to get into the match, so we'll be right back here with you with Agent Select when that's ready. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
And we are back here with Agent Select. As we see, we have Miami here on the left, and we have NIU on the right. We see a Waylay, a Cypher, an Omen, Viper, Fade. Honestly, Fade is a very popular pick on this map. Are they going to immediately switch to Sova, right? As I said, Fade is a popular
Wow.
pick. You've got to be kidding me. But Fade
Wow.
is the best pick on this map for Initiator. Chamber, always a popular pick for Sentinel. Cypher did kind of fall off a little bit, especially with all of his nerfs, you know?
Yeah. I honestly, I'm not too sure about his nerfs, but I do see River on that Clove, and I know she's been really excited to play that character, so that's cool. And we see
Definitely.
both, yeah, like I said, we see the Waylay on both teams here, and the Fade on both teams, and the Omen on both teams. So there's kind of only a little bit of discrepancy between these two lineups. So I'm interested to see how this game will end up playing out with such similar comps. Obviously that Chamber is going to do a lot, have a lot different role on the team compared to the Cypher, where the Chamber is kind of built to take fights when he needs to, and the Cypher's kind of more of a dormant, docile creature, one might say.
I agree with that. I'm sorry, I'm still confused about like the Viper. I've never seen Viper on this map, and I'm very curious to see how this will work. I'm sure there's plenty of things that I can't think of right now that she'll be amazing at, but honestly, it could be an amazing pick. Having that massive wall, having access to like the Molly, the Orb. If you know lineups, I mean, Viper's really good. And then Cypher with He's got a couple nerfs, like in terms of like his trips. You can't really, it doesn't reveal quite as much as it used to, but it still is an amazing pick, and you can't go wrong with him. 2 trips as opposed to Chambers 1, like there's no complaining there. But as we see NIU on attack here, geared up more towards B with a Cypher mid and a Viper lurk on A. Viper, potentially, if they play them as they have been played on other maps, will majority of the time be the lurk as they just put up their utility and then sit somewhere and wait. As we switch over here, we are seeing the Viper lineups here. Where is that going? I'm very curious to see where this ends up. But we see the wall going up for mid, immediately cutting off those defenders as they push up. Omen alone on B, but we do have, it looks like Clove and Waylay close on A, rotate if need be. 3 people lurking up into that B main area. Viper once again lurking as we see Evan sitting here on the corner with the chamber. It's about a peek, fight, no trade, no damage at all traded, except Evan got a little bit of a tickle there. You see the Cypher and the Viper immediately grouping up, and an entry. Waylay going in. Modi taking out Waylay. Amazing first pick of the match as we see everyone else immediately fall back. They were not able to capitalize on their duelist entry. We see Cypher here still lurking up with the Viper playing together. That chamber trip, they break it. They know they've rotated to A. They're going to run over, try to regroup. All 5 of Miami rotating through spawn, stuck together. Now that's very good because that means they should be able to get the trades here. Omen blind going out, finding nobody with the smoke for spawn. Are they going to push through it? It seems they're waiting it out a little bit. Plant going down. A bunch of utility getting thrown out. Entry. They are able to find the Cypher as they begin pushing in. Saw finds Vince. Amazing trades going out, and that's a round for Miami. Amazing work.
Fantastic first round for Miami, I might say. You know, we did see NIU was pretty split at the beginning of the round. They had 3 towards B, 2 towards A. They saw some action towards A. All of Miami was more stacked towards A in that time. I did see on the minimap, maybe NIU might figure this out later. Miami's been fast rotating based on what they've seen. They haven't really been waiting too much to see where more info might be going, because as soon as they heard some info A, they went over there. And then when they saw the pick on B, they went all the way back over there. So that'd be something to keep an eye on for the future. But, you know, we did see Modi able to get that early pick, forced NIU to the other site, and then Miami was able just to crash that with the Omen Flash, with the other util, and that was just a really great execute on the site. But it seems like NIU was really fully pushing onto this B side here. Miami, again, 3-2 stacked onto B versus A, and Evan with a quick first kill onto Bagel, starting this round very strong for Miami.
Entry in on the Waylay. Waylay is not able to find the chamber, immediately falling back. Modi is able to find 2 as Modi finds a 3rd one. Oh Whoa. My gosh, and that's round over. That was beautiful. Amazing work from both Evan and Modi. 3K, 2K there. Great work from everybody. The chamber TP away after getting the Cypher kill and then picking off the Waylay, followed up by Modi getting the 3K. Now that was just an amazing round.
That was like a 7-second round. Like, is that like an ESC record? That was crazy. Miami looking very, very strong in these first 2 rounds here. But again, we do see that this is the 3rd round. If you aren't too familiar with Valorant, typically if you lose the pistol round, you save the 2nd round. So the 3rd round you can put full buy guns. As we see, Northern Illinois is doing that, and Miami's going for a full just bonus, just keeping the guns they already had because no one even died. NIU is going for more of a middle push though. We just see the Fade Util going out. 2 people from Miami are ready to combat this push towards mid. We'll see if they are able to get any picks early, but no, River's gonna be spammed through the smoke by Vinx, and that's gonna force Miami to fall back a little bit. NIU is gonna have a slight advantage here. They have that early pick, but they're all still pretty dormant. No big plays being made yet. Miami's shifting more towards that mid to A area, so they're a bit ready for NIU, but we'll see how they end up going for this defensive take here.
As you see them continue pushing up, they're playing with this Viper wall a little bit. It is quite a good Viper wall, cutting off that upper area angle. Ooh, we're about to see Viper peeking here onto 2 of them. Takes out Saw. Does it take out? He does not take out Samlon. Samlon immediately getting the trade. Are they able to get the gun? It seems that they are not. They're immediately going to fall back. As we see them, they are able to get the gun. Never mind. As they immediately push back into the enemy spawn, they now have a flank with 2 of the others pushing mid. Currently in a 3v4 situation. This should be, if they're able to play this well enough, they should be able to get at least maybe 1 or 2 here and send them onto a little bit of a weird buy for the next round. You see them lurking up towards mid with... it seems Samlon more on the flank, regrouping with everybody else as they begin to play together. Chamber does make a little bit more of a noise as he gets tagged by the Cypher cam. We're just waiting it out a little bit. The round slowing down, no movement quite yet. It seems that Fade is now using util. Omen blind going out as they immediately push in. Smoke cutting off some of the angles. Boo is able to pick off Samlon. 2 remaining as they push in, trying to get the defuse. Able to get half. as they immediately push in and take out the 2 around for NIU.
That's a good round for NIU. Like we said, based on those guns, it was supposed to be a win for NIU. This is kind of pretty standard. Miami now able to full buy those guns. Going with the operator, spending 4,700 credits there. We'll see if that ends up sticking through the rest of the round. But Northern Illinois only suffering 1 death there, which is a pretty good round for them. I think that opening pick onto River really helped them just give a little more flexibility around the map, which helped them get locked on the A site and make so Miami could not shut it down so quickly. But it seems like they're going back for they mostly B push. They're sending that side for lurking A, so Miami have to be careful for that there. But we do see the 3-2 split still going for Miami. Actually, I think they sent 3 toward A this time. But we do see Evan is just sitting there on the chamber waiting. I'm not sure if he's expecting all 3 to pick there, and is able to TP out just in time as the Whalers going to use the utility to get on the site, shoot down, take down Modi, but Evan is going to get the quick trade off. We'd love to see those trades going through, and the rest of NIU is going to go on the site. Evan going down, unfortunately. That's going to be NIU having the site for free after getting those 2 picks. Sorry, and then the rest of Miami is going to rotate back. Another 3v4 where Miami's going to have to retake the site here. Let's see if they execute this a little bit better than they did last round.
As we waited out here, everything slows down. Fade using a bunch more utilities. They begin pushing onto site. Waylay putting down her little teleport back as they continue forward. Clove using utility, able to pop. Are they able to find the fade off of this? It does not seem. The Molly immediately going out. I think that hit our fade. I'm not entirely sure. As they see Waylay going in with the 1 dash, seeing the person in the smoke. Are they going to push it? They are holding. They're waiting. Samlon getting a pick. Chamber peeking. Or Cypher peeking, getting taken out, everyone getting pieced up, and Miami taking home the 3rd round. That was an instant. Like, there was 3 alive for the enemy team, and then there was just all of them dead. That was impressive.
It took them like a second to kill 3 people. It was
that
insane.
Was crazy.
Yeah.
But amazing round for Miami as we're moving on to the 5th. As we continue to have 3 guns going in from that round. Hopefully we're able to buy more of our team, but it seems we are on a little bit of a light buy for those who died. Looking at the enemy, we see that they have almost a full buy, but if they lose this round, they are definitely going to be on that save going into the 6th. We just have to hopefully win this one here.
Yeah, and as we said before the game started, you can have the 3. Miami's up 3-1, but their economy's a little bit volatile. If they lose us here and they all die, this could leave NIU to take the lead right back from them. So we'll have to see. Miami's going to try to want to win this with as little deaths as possible to try to keep their economy snowball going. It seems like NIU is going right back for sending 3 towards B. We have 1 mid, 1 towards A. They might be able to get an early pick or some information. And Evan, who's been peeking out a little bit of an eco peek there on the B side, is going to be taken down early this time without a trade. So that means Miami's already down a player. 2 versus 3 on that B site. Miami's going to send looks like, to send right back towards the B site. But Viper has not heard anything yet on A. We'll see if River's able to catch out Viper without being caught off guard. Let's see, they might be able to peek at each other right here. Will River get the kill?
Yes!
River does get the kill. That's going to take down another player, bringing 4v4, and then make sure NIU doesn't have a free push on the A site. Now they're not really sure where to go. They all decided to go towards mid, the very volatile mid area. Will they go mid to A into River, or will they decide to go back towards B, where it seems like we got Samlon ready and waiting for them behind that smoke?
Pushing into the smoke. Sam is able to pick 1, but it's not able to get the 2nd, and treeing in onto B. You see the Omen waiting in this cubby. Are they going to be able to expect him? He hears him. He waits. He picks off 1. He picks off the 2nd, 1 remaining. And he does not get the 3rd, but he puts him in an amazing position right now as we see 2 of them continue immediately rotating over to B. We'll see as this Cypher maybe decides to rotate over or sticks on this plant. 2 back site. Waylay going in, getting taken out by River. Another round going over to Miami.
Great round there for Miami. River getting that pick on the Viper on the A site was, maybe seemingly just 1 pick, but I think that was insanely good for Miami to end up closing out this round. They were able to make sure that they didn't get any free info onto the A site. We do see a gray screen, which I believe means that's an NIU timeout, which I'm not super surprised by. Unless it might be a tech pause, we'll see. I'm not sure if I would do a timeout onto a save round, so we're not too sure who did that just yet. That's a little bit of a flaw with their overlay. But either way, I think Miami's doing really good so far. They're starting things 4-1. When they've had the advantage, they've been taking it pretty well. And when they've been in a slight disadvantage, they've been pretty good at taking it back from NIU. So I think they're definitely showing a promise and improvement on this round. They're showing, that they've been practiced, they've been scrimmed on this map. And I've really liked their strategy so far on Corrode.
Definitely. It has been really good. They've been able to get those picks fall back. Even on that first round, whenever Evan got picked off immediately, they were able to find that pick on the Viper and then capitalize off of it, continuing to get picks, especially with, I believe it was, I don't remember his name. Moody, whenever he was in that little cubby area, he was able to pick off 3, get the spike down. They knew where he was, and then immediately the other 2 were able to piece them up and keep the round going. Miami has just been playing together a lot more. There's been very little occasions where they've been isolated, and it's just been amazing so far. And as we see, NIU going more towards a B push, Viper not lurking this time, either because of the stuff that's been said during their timeout, or just because they're all on a save. We have a Waylay with the Bucky, honestly a very common pick, as we're going to see them most likely try to entry into that back B site area to try to get a pick. Chamber sitting here on the corner with the TP back into his upper area. Immediately Waylay going in with the ult. Going back site, are they going to be able to find the Chamber? Chamber peeking, does not find the Waylay, getting a little bit damaged, but that is a good that is a waste of a bunch of Waylay utility, so that could be very huge. 4 people for mid, a bunch of them getting hit by that slow. Modi and Suh each getting a pick. Bagel taking out 1, Modi getting another. Suh, and a round over for Miami, piecing them up very handily, only losing 2 guns on that round.
Yeah, that was a great round win for Miami. Things ending very quickly again as soon as they got onto that site, and only losing 2 is again huge for their economy, because that means, you know, people who did die, if they don't have a little bit of money, they'll be able to buy each other, and they're all back to full guns, full shield, and we have 3 ultimates online. We have Fate ult, Waylay ult, and Chamber ult, which are definitely good tools to use. We do see though, NIU does have that Omen ult and why am I blanking on his name? Cypher ult, sorry. Yeah. And then as they just used the Waylay ults last round. So, but even on the ults, but you know, both teams have full guns. Miami does have that extra cash to fall back on if they do lose this round. But this is going to be a really important round to win for NIU. I expect them to spend some ults potentially to try to make sure they win this round. They can't let Miami snowball too far, because then, you know, losing this round, losing all your guns might lead Miami to a 7-1 lead, and that means they automatically get the advantage out of this half no matter what else happens, and that's not too great for NIU. But we see Miami pushing very fast into this A main spot. Viper gets caught out. Is Cypher going to get caught out too? Yes, he's going to get spammed through. Taking a little bit of ring around the rosy here. And now they flipped the script a little bit. Miami is pushing it back in from main as NIU took sight from mid. Kind of a hilarious action going on there. The rest of Miami still back on the B side. I guess they aren't too sure about what's going on, but they're already start rolling back towards A, and now they have to retake site already. You would have thought they would have held down the site with those 2 early picks, but they were just able to squeeze right past them. So this is a bit of an interesting situation that Miami's left in.
Seeing that little trade there as they pushed into main, the other people swapping with them as they pushed through mid, that was just hilarious. You don't see that happen ever, really. But as we see 2 of them pushing in, you have 1 more towards that mid area. Waylay ult going out, picking off the... She's slowed, and she still got 3. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Huge round for 9boo. Was that she was hit by the Waylay ult and still got 3?
Yes.
That's insane.
Like 3 headshots. That was crazy.
Well, that's the kind of hero plays that NIU ended up needing to potentially bring us even closer, bring them even closer to closing the gap on Miami. As we said before, though, Miami does have the credits to back up losing a round, so they will be able to full buy here. Looks like Evan's going to end up opting for that Chamber ultimate, vying for another teammate. And NIU, of course, just winning the round, has their gun still available, and they didn't spend any ults with that Viper ult now coming online as well. So they're looking at a bit of a good scenario. We have 3 versus 3 on ults and full guns each way. So let's see how this goes for NIU. Hopefully no crazy switcheroos this time.
Ooh. No way, good round for Sam. Samlon getting a second. Samlon getting a third. 3. Peeking. Does he fall back? He falls back, gets tagged. Bagel getting 2, getting taken out by River. A third one, the final one remaining. He should fall back. Yes, as we see River fall back. Omen, that's our Omen, never mind. Omen TPing over to regroup with River. Playing together here, smoke going out. Is Spike down? Spike is in Omen's possession, but as long as they play together, they should be comfortable. You have that Chamber holding mid, waiting for Omen. Omen is still back in main, and they are not aware of it, as he seems to be debating on TPing or just continuing on to site. If he peeks here, the Chamber should be able to pick him off. We're just waiting to see a little bit of contact. Playing slow, waiting it out. Peeking. Is he going to see the movement? Gets hit, Vix takes out Evan, immediately TPs away as 2 of our teammates immediately remain on A site. Plant beginning to go down for Vinx here. We're waiting it out a little bit immediately as they begin rotating through spawn, TPing over. He didn't move. He didn't move. Never mind. We're waiting for a little bit more movement here, though, as we see two people going towards mid. Omen is holding it, so are they going to be able to get the knife out? Don't pull the knife out. This is important. This is the most important moment as we see them blind going out, pushing in from mid. He hears them wrapping around sight, decides to wrap around a little bit more, getting tagged out a little bit, shooting, trying to get a little bit of contact as he waits. He pulls out the classic, preparing to jump in from the top. He's able to find one, but River is able to stay alive and finish out the spike. Oh my gosh, that was kind of scary.
A little bit scary. I know you decided to go from the top rope, but when there's two players, you can't really. That's a little bit hard to pull off fully. But great round start from Miami. That looked a bit scary at the end there, but Miami was able to close it out. But losing a lot of players is going to leave the economy a bit in disarray. So we'll see if Miami has to light buy on some of their players, you know, similar to NIU, who's going to probably have to light buy on most of their roster. But they still have 3 ultimates online to go forward. Miami bring this to 6-2, though, which means that the worst they can end out this half is even with NIU, which I think is pretty good for the side of Miami.
Definitely, especially as we see NIU with the Cypher lurk on B, 2 mid and 2 towards A, or 3 mid. They're trying to wait it out a little bit. Maybe trying to get a little bit of some easy picks here, but hopefully Miami is able to play safe and play together as we see no movement just yet. Cypher pushing up a little bit. Is he going to find the chamber? He's pulling out his cam, not seeing anything quite yet. You have 3 still lurking up mid with the Clove watching that link area. Nothing, no movement. Oh, jump. Is he going to see him? He finds him. Evan being able to find Bagel. That's 1 pick down for Miami as we see 3 more pushing up mid still. The Viper wall coming out. Vinx playing around the wall, pushing up a little bit more. They're going into the spawn. Now this is unforeseen as we wait a little bit more to see what they do with this. Pushing up, it seems they're going more towards A here with the, I believe that's Fade, and I can't see who else the other person is, but they're playing. Is that 3 stacked against each other? Wait, it is! Well, they're playing together. Okay, this is something. That's what I gotta say. That hopefully they should be able to trade off of each other. The Waylay might get taken out first here. Waylay immediately getting shot off, but River and okay, 2 remaining as they begin to push in. It seems that they're both holding the spawn area. Viper able to find Samlon. You do have a 3v2. And River is able to remain alive because of that kill. The spike going down. Oh my gosh. Viper taking out Clove. Immediately falling back. Do they have time? They don't have time as they take out the Viper. Another round for Miami. Amazing work.
Good round win. Thank you, Freaking Inspector, for catching that 3-line angle. That was, I was like, a Raze ult would be devastating in this scenario, but thankfully don't have a Raze, and that was like a power of friendship kind of hold right there.
Power of friendship. Yeah. They can't take everyone out.
Yeah, they can't take all 3 of us out, and we do see another pause. Maybe that could be NIU spending their second timeout already, or maybe that was maybe the first was a Miami timeout. Actually,
I think so. That might be right. Yeah,
makes a little more sense. That first was a Miami timeout. But anyways, NIU have a desperate situation here. I believe the score is 7-2 now for Miami. So they can finally buy. They saved last round a little bit, so they have to be able to buy here. Miami, of course, is just on an insane winning streak. They'll be able to buy again. Both teams have around the same ults, 3 ults. I expect NIU to spend those ults this round because this is a really important round to win. You don't want to lose too many rounds on this defender side, or it's going to be too much of ground to make up when it's your turn to defend. I expect at least that Viper ult going to be coming out. So, maybe they'll go for a little bit of a fast push on the A and then try to use that Viper ult for post plant. But I'm not really sure what the strategy is going to be like too much for Miami. I assume they're going to pretty much doing more of the same. It's clearly working. They've been doing pretty well. The only rounds they've lost is usually when NIU has a pretty good opening play, but that hasn't been happening too often for them. So Miami's been playing this pretty well. Obviously they can still have some things to talk about, but I like to applaud how Miami's playing on this map compared to how they have in the past. They've shown some real improvement here.
100%. Thinking about the defense here, you have that Viper and Cypher for NIU. Viper on defense can be played a little bit more like a Sentinel, able to hold down that site and use her utility to cut off angles and keep them a little bit stuck here. But as we see, NIU is pushing more towards, they have the Viper and the Cypher on lurk once more as you have 3 of them pushing up B. They've continually done this lurk play, and it has worked in the past with a lot of other teams, but It seems in this situation they've had a little bit of trouble, but we're waiting it out here as we see a little bit more utility going out towards this B main area. No contact just yet, playing it very slow, trying to maybe pick off this chamber that they expect him to peek, but he is playing safe behind this box here as we wait it out a little bit more. Modi going to peek mid. We have all 5 grouping up towards this B main area, waiting it out to see if anything happens, but no movement just yet. We're probably going to see some ults popped here in a moment as nothing happens. Everything continues to remain slow with Modi immediately smoking it off. They push up with the ult. Ult going out. Are they going to be able to find him? They are not able to find one as Boo takes out one of them. A bunch of utility immediately getting dumped whenever they're pushing onto site. Taking into this backspace area, trying to take spawn as we see Suh about to, free kill. Nope, never mind. As we waited out a little bit, Suh taking out Boo. Samlon taking out Vinx. We're just waiting it out a little bit more. Samlon seeing that Cypher back site. Are we going to be able to see a little bit more contact? Bagel taking out 2. So Viper getting taken out by Modi after taking, and he does not expect the one close. Another round win for NIU.
Yeah, that was a good whole fight for NIU. I was a bit taken aback. It was a bit unfortunate for Miami. You know, that it's pretty similar to that other round that they lost on retake, where NIU was just surprisingly able to kill 3 of Miami's players just pretty much in an instant, and then after that everything seemed to be falling apart. They did use both the Cypher ult and the Fade ult there. Still have 2 ults online, that Viper ult and the Waylay ult. Both very strong ults they can use going forward. Miami doesn't really have anything on deck except to have Waylay up in 3 ult points, as same with Omen. So, and Miami's on a save round seemingly. Just going for a bit of a lighter buy. Even though they are into the advantage, I guess their economy hasn't been the strongest going forward throughout this next map. As we see, all of NIU pretty much ready to push up on this A side. Miami is kind of split between mid and A. So they're somewhat prepared for this push, but Miami's going to have to take this a little bit slow, trying to get picked too early and hopefully take each other's trades.
We're seeing a little bit more pushing here. Are they going to expect the Clove? They don't expect the Clove. Clove is able to find one as we see them pushing on the site here. 2 are down for Miami, and they are on a safe here. But hopefully they are able to get at least maybe Boo's gun or, a bunch of ults getting popped. That's a weird Viper ult. I don't know how that covered, nothing. But the whole back site seems to be covered by the Viper as we see them pushing in here. Evan immediately pushing. We're holding, waiting, pushing into the smoke. Does not find anything. They are expecting shotguns here, or at least should be. Nothing quite yet. Pushing in a little bit more, playing safe. Vinx able to find Modi. Bringing it down a little bit more even. Vinx finding another as we see Samlon remaining alone. We're waiting it out, seeing what he does. Nothing quite yet. No movement. Waiting, holding. Samlon pushing it a little bit more. Swinging out in a moment. Nope, getting taken out by Vinx through the smoke. A good round for NIU, bringing it to 7-4.
Yeah, it's a good round for NIU, but again, there were 5 pushing with ults onto a site where Miami just had pistols. They were saving things for this round, I guess, because Miami has enough for a full buy. Same with NIU. NIU only having that Omen ult online, and Miami still decently far away from their ults. They could get with the ult this round if so, get some good kills, but something that's gonna be a pretty clean, no ult, just guns fight. Viper ready to throw some lineups there. And Sad NIU is pretty split. We see bomb towards the B side, but we see some towards A and some towards mid.
Eyes.
Looking at my eyes. Travis Scott reference, anyone? Anyways, we're gonna see NIU take some shots down mid. Not able to get anyone from Miami. Seems like they're slowly walking back towards the A side. Miami's being very aggressive here on A with 3 pushing yet again. This is gonna work as well as it will last time. We'll see. Viper's gonna be ready for the push out. All swinging out at the same time. Samlon able to get 2, but Vinx unfortunately able to get a 3 count on the rest of them. That was a bit of a mistimed swing there. They had 3 there that could have swung all together, but they kind of swung one after one after one, even though all 3 were right there. And that's kind of what we've been seeing from Miami in the past. That's caused them to lose players in the past. But thankfully, Samlon was able to at least cover some ground to get 2 kills. So Miami's only down 1, 2v3 right now. Is Miami going to be expecting Bagel to be playing back here? Evan, I think maybe he hears him. He's going to be holding the angle. Able to take him down. Yes. Bring back to the 2v2, and Omen's very, very low. Omen's shooting out a flash there. Both of NIU's players able to have to swing back as Miami pushes into the site.
We see him going for the spike tap. We're just waiting it out a little bit. Omen might swing here. Nothing quite yet. Smoke. The Omen. Omen, don't do it. Don't do it to him, Omen. We're just waiting it out a little bit more.
Just shoot,
please! Please, just do something. Oh, gosh, no. And Evan is able to get taken out through smoke, but Modi is able to find Vinx as we hear that the defuse going out. Swings, gets him, yes! Round for Miami. 8-4 in favor of Miami. Amazing work on the half. Great work. Great keeping up with that. Even if you did like give up 4 rounds, that's still amazing. Continuing. Hopefully we can continue this on as we continue into these later rounds on attack.
Yes, Miami setting themselves up great for this attacker half. You have 4 rounds of wiggle room to deal with, in case you make some mistakes before you can still end up winning this game. And Miami only has to win 5 rounds on this half to make it through, and they're able to do 8 last half. So things are looking pretty great for Miami here. Miami players seeing mostly classics and abilities. We see 1 ghost on their side of Miami. But it seems like they're going to do something similar to how NIU started last half. They're going to send 4 towards B, 1 lurking on A, which is going to be the chamber this time. As NIU sitting 1 on B, 2 mid, and 2 A. Seems like the Omen is going to swing towards mid as well. So NIU kind of has 3 watching mid. Miami is both splitting up towards B and mid, and we'll see where they get some most info. If Chamber can get this pick here, then we might see Miami go for a full rotate towards A, like NIU's done in the past. But NIU's showing some real aggression towards the mid site. River having to back off, as 9boo might be getting ready to peek through all of Miami's util sitting right here.
Weighing it out a little bit as we see him push up over into this Viper wall. See, this Viper wall is quite huge as it cuts off that massive angle from mid and also that angle from A main. That utility usage, I didn't even think, I couldn't even have thought of that if I would have tried to. That cuts off a lot of angles and saves them a lot of space. As we see them, Miami pushing up more towards B here, going into that Cypher trip. Hopefully they don't get picked off by this, but as they push forward, that Cypher is playing with a one-way. Okay, he's got the lineups as we see him going in. Evan taking out Boo. Evan taking out 2 of them. Evan getting taken out by Vinx, but that's an amazing 2-0. Trades going out. Bagel taking out River. Suh taking out Bagel. Trades going out. There we go. Suh is low, but there is only a 2v3 right now. Hopefully they can play together, even if they are a little bit more low on the HP. You see Suh hiding away. He almost saw them, but wasn't able to. 3 of them stacked up into this cubby area as we see him peeking. Able to find 1. Finds 2. Nice. Amazing work for Miami. Okay. Modi hiding in that cubby. They didn't expect all 3, honestly.
Yeah. No, because Vinx looked a bit lost at the end. He was like, where is the last guy? And then it was just, they're all there. He's like, surely all 3 of them can't be there.
Surely not.
All 3 of them. It's like the FGC files. Surely they won't throw again. Surely, and then they just do it again, and then you're dead in the corner. Shout out my fighting game players in the chat. But anyways, Miami up 9-4, winning this push round, which means they could buy more guns. We're up on money. That means we buy more. As we see, Miami has a light buy going through. Everyone's just stocking up on the guns, on the shields, and NIU going for a save. As we see, standard Valorant economy. Winner pistol round buys. A loser saves hard for the next round. Miami up 9-4. We do see Miami split 2B, 2 mid, 1A. NIU again is getting pretty aggressive towards the mid side. They really don't want Miami to get any hold of this mid side. Oh, Samlon with a good kill. River with another great kill towards the middle of the site. Samlon able to get another one through the smoke. And NIU's already down 2 players off of them trying to hold mid. Bagel is still here. Could Bagel get any surprise kills with this classic? No, Modi was waiting for Bagel to push through. And it's just their Viper with the classic on the A site against all of Miami with all of their guns. This is looking a bit dire for the Viper. Trying to get any kills at all, but no, Samlon again just shoots him right in the face. Said nope, not even close. And Miami up 10-4, keeping all their guns. All of NIU is dead. NIU able to buy full guns this time. Miami likely opted just to keep the guns they already have. But, if I'm NIU, I'm down 6 rounds right here. Things are looking a bit dire. You really need to win this round to make things go forward. I wouldn't be surprised about a timeout here from NIU, but I don't think we're going to get one. As we see a bit of a meeting up there on the top of the roof. Maybe they're discussing Miami's greatness in this map. I hope that's what they're talking about.
Hopefully. As we see River here on a little bit more, even if they are down on the guns, they still have a very good buy here. That Outlaw kind of dangerous here with 2 of your players at almost at half shields only, even if there is a recharge shield. A little bit of trades going out for utility. River getting taken out by Boo. Waylay getting up a little bit further into that spawn area. I don't know what that massive red ring is, but it looks quite interesting, honestly. But we're waiting it out a little bit more. Suh pushing in here, trying to find a little bit more contact. Nothing quite yet. We see that Viper watching, waiting. Swings out. Does not find anything quite yet, but he might swing. He doesn't. Nothing happens as they continue on. Oh, no! Oh. Evan getting taken out by the Viper as we see him pushing in. They're going to find him backside immediately. Suh taking out Vinx. Viper taking out Suh, though, in a trade. Plant going down. Oh, nothing quite yet. Plant going down once more as we waited out a little bit more. No contact quite yet. We're about to see one peek from this. Oh, Samlon finding one, does not find the Viper. Viper getting taken out by Modi. Modi holding, waiting, dismissing out. We're just gonna see a little bit more contact here, hopefully. Hopefully spray right now, spray right now, spray right now, spray right now, spray right now.
Shoot!
No!
Oh.
No! They were lined up. They were lined up for him, but honestly, like that's the duality of being a caster. You see what they can't see, and you just have to hope and pray that they do it. But that was a good round for Miami, even if they were down guns. Able to take out 3 of them, and just hopefully keep the ball rolling as we see them on a little bit more of a light buy here for NIU.
Yeah, you know, that's something, you know, we can see, but they clearly, how can you know they're all lined up right there? That was a bit unfortunate. But we do see, you know, NIU was able to buy guns that round. They're still able to keep most of their guns. We see a Bulldog from that one player that did end up dying. But Miami, all on a full buy here for the rest of this round. And we have my caster reacting to one over here.
I'm sorry, I'm looking at like the trips he's doing. These things are wonky. Sorry, please continue. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Those are a bit of wonky trips here, but Bagel is set up for Miami to maybe pushing this B side. We have 3 swords sending towards B, but no Spike going to be sent there. Spike's actually going to be going towards A. They might be faking B here a bit, maybe trying to get a pick and try to go back towards A. NIU has 2 players, that Viper and that Omen, still on the A site, so they could end up going towards there as well. Trying to make as much noise as possible, I assume, is what this Miami team is doing on this B site. We'll see if they actually end up swinging and getting a pick, but I'd assume they're trying to play a little bit more safe here. I wonder what's going through the minds of NIU right now, if they even know where Miami's true intentions really are.
They continue on here as we see them pushing more towards this B area. No contact just yet. Evan peeking up forward. Does he expect the Omen? The Omen and the Viper on a cross spray. Nothing quite yet. Getting taken out by Vinx. We have Omen hiding, waiting. He TPs away. He knows there's 2 now holding that cross as he immediately falls away. Suh playing here more towards B, trying to push in, maybe trying to find a little bit more contact. Does he expect the Cypher to be going more towards Heaven? He hears the, ooh, gets tagged out. As we wait out a little bit more, pushing in, a bunch of utility being used. Does he expect a trip? He does not expect a trip. Viper getting, ooh, Bagel taking out River. We continue to wait. Suh watching for, I mean, honestly, one of those trips still remaining. If they continue to push, they're probably going to get hit by that. But we see Suh falling down and hiding into this little boathouse area. Miami all grouped together as we see Modi and Suh both very low on HP with the other 3 not even touched. No one is oh, waiting a little bit more. Utility being thrown, utility being exchanged. No one pushing quite yet. Nothing, no movement. But ooh, we see 9 Boo going into Heaven. Samlon and Suh. Modi, Samlon. Hold up. Viper remaining. Viper the last one remaining. Oh my gosh! Oh my.
Might be turning that thing around. Holy.
Okay, 5v3 and Miami is able to dice them up very handily. Amazing work. Oh my god.
Samlon and Modi look like Shaq and Kobe out here on the road map. Like, look at that. Both at the top leaderboard, both going through and making sure this round gets closed out. They're saying, NIU fans, you thought this round was going to be won? Nuh-uh. We're bringing things to 11-5. And NIU is forced to go on somewhat of a light buy here. And this is not what you're gonna want to see if you're an NIU fan here. NIU only has that Omen online, only has 2 guns at their disposal. So, you know, if things don't go their way this round, then they'd have to pull out, you know, a pretty thrifty round. Things are gonna be down to 12-5, and at that point, NIU can't make any mistakes. They even bring this to an overtime. Miami's looking really hot here as they decide to go all 5A. They have the confidence. They're all gonna go towards A elbow potentially, as you know. NIU still only has a Cypher and this Viper here. They're going to have to back out really hard to make sure they don't lose their lives to this Miami push here.
See him pushing in here. You got Bagel in the backside area, along with, looks like Viper, each holding an angle. Suh pushing in. That Viper, that glow smoke might be going away very soon here. Here it goes. Are they going to be able to find contact? Suh still hiding in this cubby. Do they expect it? As long as he remains here, he honestly could just get this crossfire without, ooh, we're seeing a little bit more contact. Omen TPing over to join Suh. No movement just yet. A Viper or a Cypher one way. Oh my gosh. River getting a trade though as they continue to push on. We're waiting for the smokes to go away. Destroyer taking out River. Destroyer not getting taken out quite yet. They do have the Viper ult, or the Fade ult. Huge use of the Fade ult as he tags so many of them. They're hiding, continue to hide back. Sight unable to find it as NIU takes the round. Honestly, that one was just a lot of trading back and forth. A bunch of smokes being used. The one way from Cypher. You may have the opportune like angles, but if you get cut off by those smokes, I mean, there's not much you can really do here.
Yeah, you know, NIU just had a really strong, well-coordinated retake onto that site. They kind of used Miami Smokes to get them against them, and since some of them had the half buy, they had to be on Stinger, so they were already close range. They're able to just swing out together and take down the side of Miami. So that was a really good run for NIU. That's a run they needed to win to have any sort of chance to go forward in this game. They're able to buy more guns here, and I think Miami's forced on a bit of a save this time. Do they have that Whaley Ultimate online? But Miami this round is going to be looking to get picks, and maybe if we win this round would be great. But mostly looking for picks to hurt NIU's economy even more. And next round is what they're looking at. Maybe they look at closing out this map right here. But still, Miami's going to go for a full A push yet again. NIU is not so clear to the fact just yet. Their Omen did end up TPing over to this side, so it is going to be 3 against 5 here on this push. So with just a classic, going to be swinging these angles. Miami able to get the plant down already, but is this time, are they able to hold down the site a little bit better? Or is NIU just going to swing through as a team again and just take out all of Miami?
As we see them continue to push in, they may have the opportunity, or they may have the gun advantage, but Miami does have the good angles right. Oh my gosh, a bunch of utility being used by Miami. They are not able to find the one. Boo. Oh my gosh, trades going out. River, Modi, there's so much. There's being overstimulated. Bagel and Vinx, the only 2 remaining. Modi taking out Bagel. As we see one more Vinx. They do know where Vinx is right now, but they just have to play for time. He starts sticking on Spike, TPing. Do they expect where he is? He is just sticking. Swing. Yes! Samlon finding the kill. Amazing round for Miami. 12-6.
Both teams back-to-back winning on the A site after a light buy. Great stuff for Miami, turning things back around. They're doing a really good job at not letting NIU win more than one round in a row, not letting them snowball. And things, it's down to the wire for NIU. They're spending as much as they can. One person forced onto a Stinger. They do have that Viper ult. They do have that Cypher ult, which I expect to be spent in this round. They really need to make sure Miami doesn't get what they want and win this next round to go through. But Miami, they have full guns. They have that Omen ult. They have that they have that chamber ult really close to being online. So they're just looking whatever they can to close out this round. But NIU has that really impressive Viper ult, instantly going to ult onto the B side, which is going to make Miami likely rotate away from that area. But some of Miami is going to be pushing up towards mid, which NIU has been aggressive towards every single round again. So we'll see if these trades go well for Miami or for NIU. This could really decide the whole round right here in this interaction. Will River get caught out? River does get caught out. Really unfortunate for Miami. They're already going to lose one on that mid site, but they're able to push through that Viper ult and take down Viper themselves. So B sites are open back up for them, and they're going to full rotate back to B site and try to take this site for themselves.
As we see them pushing in here, they're taking into that backside, pushing into the defender spawn. Are they going to be able to find a few contacts here? Samlon immediately taking out Boo. We're waiting, holding, swinging. Nothing yet. You see Modi holding Heaven. Are they going to expect it? Bagel taking out 1. Bagel not taking out 2. They're going to fall back immediately. You have Bagel very low. Almost one shot as they continue. Cypher upload going out, finding all three of them. They just have to play together now. They may have the information right now, but they do still have the health advantage. Oh, Evan and Destroyer trading off. Bagel taking out 1. Modi getting into please turn. Oh! No! Miami getting taken out on that round, but still getting all 4 of them is huge for the economy as they hopefully continue to roll with this. They just have to get one more round, and it is good. 1 for Miami. We just got to push forward and get this win. That was an amazing round. If the Cypher ult didn't pop, I guarantee Modi would have gotten at least 1 or 2 Heaven, and that would have been wraps. But that Cypher ult, hey, it's really good. You can't do nothing about it, just immediately giving them all the information they need. But as we see, NIU is gearing up more towards a B push with the chamber lurking towards Miami gearing up towards a B push. But it looks like we're on on another save. We're trying to hopefully get some kills here, get some guns, and be ready to play. As that chamber ult comes out, that's going to be our best gun. Able to get a few kills here, hopefully, and give some of our team members some really good weaponry.
Yeah, so Miami's going for a full mid push, and we do see this chamber ult being popped. The rest of Miami's mostly on a save round this time. But that chamber ult instantly shut down, and 9boo gets 3 kills. Destroyer gets another kill here. And Samlon gets a trade, but Destroyer just take them all down. And then you're going to be, thankfully for them, keeping all their guns, but unfortunately for Miami, all getting taken down. Miami, though, has the money to back up going into this next round here. 12-8. Miami just has to win one more to close it out. That was another great round from NIU, though. They were able to get 2 ults back online, that Whaley ult and that Fade ult, which is going to help them. Which is going to help them extend their lead even further. We do see another timeout here. We're not sure which team that is. Honestly, I could see either team going for a timeout. They're both at high guns, but I could see this being an NIU timeout maybe as we go into this next map. But both teams have things they could talk about. We've seen NIU aggression towards mid every single round. Miami hasn't contested it too much. The one time they did, things did not go very well for them this last round. So we'll see what ends up going forward for them. The strategy for Miami this half, sending most towards B and one towards A to start to get some info has been working for them in the past. So I just didn't go back towards that. But NIU, I think they should keep that mid aggression and potentially just play further back to the sites, because Miami's been showing on this attack half they like to just send everyone in all at once and then just kind of take the site very quickly, which has been working out for them most of the time. But we'll see how their team play goes forward, because some of these rounds that Miami's been losing, either it's been like they couldn't get the trades, or sometimes they haven't been playing together and it's just been giving NIU ones, which is something that you don't want to give them, especially when they have the guns to back that up. But Miami's still looking really strong so far. NIU looking to bring their lead down to 0 and bring this to overtime. But I will say that's going to be a very hard task to do against this Miami roster.
Definitely. Especially, I'd say if you look at where the cipher is, if you're trying to find the cipher and then you could immediately rotate sites, that's one of the big things, as his trips are very dangerous, especially in such an enclosed space like B site. If you're able to figure out where he is, I'd say probably maybe try to just leave. I wouldn't want to take that fight unless you are waylay, able to jump over the trips and immediately get over to this where the cipher is. But as we see, Miami is geared up more towards it looks like a split push right now. They haven't really decided on where to go quite yet, as we have the spike towards B, but 3 people over towards A, with the chamber holding that angle. This seems to be a very popular angle for Evan, whether attack on defense. He seems to really like it. But as we see them pushing up a little bit more on A by Cypher with his cam, I believe, above the doorway, waiting to pop and see if waiting to pop it and find someone. We just wait a little bit more. Nothing quite yet. Immediately Fate ult or Fate utility being thrown more towards that A-Link area, pushing in. Is that going to pull anybody away? It doesn't seem like it as we wait. Chamber, or Cypher and Chamber, probably about to have a fight here. Utility going out, getting out of there. Amazing utility usage as we wait it out. Able to get out of there. Ooh, more utility being popped. Swinging, leaving, and Boo is able to find Sa as he swings out. A little bit more utility for top mid as they see one more person. The fade. Top mid taking out the eye as they push onto site. Hopefully not getting hit by this chamber trip. We're seeing chamber or Cypher trip. Cypher playing more towards that heaven area. Potentially pushing into the elbow. Breaking the trip. Pushing into backside. Fade ult coming out. Waiting it. He does find one through the smoke. River able to wait it out. River. Evan finding one. Samlon finding another. Vinks back sight, getting taken out by Evan.
Nice!
Another one, amazing round for Miami, finishing it out 13-8. Amazing work. Miami taking home Corrode. Honestly, that was beautiful.
Great stuff from Miami, especially on that defender half. They were really showing dominance all over the map. The rounds that they did lose were kind of just really well played from NIU. There wasn't too many, individual mistakes I saw from the side of Miami. Things were looking really, really strong. Really well practiced, as they've shown, the extra practice on this Corona map would have been good. That's definitely why they picked this map. And, that's Miami's first map win in ESC this season. Let's go. We're going to see this post-game overview here. We do see Samlon, of course, on the MVP side for Miami. 24-14, 290 on ACS. But we do see MVP on the side of NIU is going to be 9boo with 10 first kills, and that definitely was felt throughout this game. It seems like every single time round started, we saw 9boo getting someone killed, and that was just great stuff from NIU again. But we do see Miami able to close out that round. All well played from all around for Miami. Great stuff.
Honestly, I got to say, every single person here showed up as we saw Modi clutching, I believe it was 2 rounds, getting a bunch of kills there. Everybody just playing together. Sa, River, each getting their own respective kills. Evan using his utility, getting those early peaks. And Samlon, honestly, just piecing them up left, right, and center. Amazing work. Some of the more notables here is definitely that 9boo. He was hitting a lot of really good shots. Vinks, he's got some very good utility usage. The smokes, just like getting onto site, the blinds. If he continues on to Omen, hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he switches to Brim here on the bind map, but he just used it very perfectly, and it was a lot to play against. We might see Mamba continue to play on the Viper, as Viper is also very viable on bind. So might see a little bit more of like some lurks. I don't really remember the fade too much, but the fade did do quite a bit of work, especially with how much utility. That's quite abusable. Cypher, the trips, I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with those. It really is going to be a toss-up if he continues to play on Cypher going into bind, or if he's going to switch over to another agent. But that was amazing work from Miami. We are very proud. We're probably going to jump over to a short break here until they are set for the next match. But don't go anywhere, and we will be right back.
Hello and welcome back to Miami ESC Valorant. We are going into map 2, which is going to be Bind. Miami starting on defense yet again. We should be going to Agent Select pretty shortly, but we're coming off of a pretty great round win for Miami, not NIU. I think our overlay is a bit wrong there on the top. But Miami is up 1-0 against NIU. Pretty great, if you didn't see before, pretty great round win, pretty good map win for them, 13-8 on Corrode. Starting defense really showed up strong for them. We'll see if it shows up strong for them again on Bind. We were just talking before this that Miami is traditionally pretty strong on the bind map, but NIU decided to pick it this time. So NIU is clearly pretty confident on it as well, and we'll see if their confidence on this map could maybe overshadow Miami's previous practice on this map. And bind is one of those few maps that might be a little bit more attacker sided because of those teleporters everywhere on the map. You can kind of just get to wherever you want, and the defenders have to react on that information. But we'll see how this map sort of goes. I'm expecting to see some very fast and aggressive gameplay from the side of NIU on this attacker side of the map. But I'm interested to see what these sort of comps will look like going in.
100%. And honestly, we got to take a look at like potential agents. So Brimstone is an almost must pick on this map every single time. His molly, his smokes, everything about it is just an amazing use. Viper has been a constant pick for both Miami and possibly NIU, as well as we saw in the last map on Corrode. They picked the Viper and were able to use the walls to be able to cut off a little bit of mid and a little bit more on A site. Skye has been a very popular pick. I mean, honestly, a character who's an all-rounder, able to heal or flash or I said heal again. Dog. I'm figuring it out. We're figuring it out slowly. But and then obviously like a Waylay or a Raze, depending upon which one you're feeling like. Waylay's a really good one because it combos with Brim very well. You get in, you stun someone, and then Brimstone just drops an ult on them. I mean, that's a free kill, or just shoot them. Either one works. Waylay, get in, get out. Honestly, like the map pool for this one is pretty, or the character pool for this one's pretty set. Like Miami decides to run 2 initiators, which I've said things about in the past. Like I feel like they should run a Sentinel, but they've also run very well with those 2 initiators that honestly it would be like, which one do you get rid of? I can't remember the second initiator right now, but I know they were important. But honestly, like the other enemy team, usually on this map, you run like a Chamber or a Cypher. And Chamber on this map is very strong. That flank trip immediately, like that little hallway that connects like the spawn and like that little weird hallway thingy that connects to all the sites. That's an amazing one because that cuts off all the flanks. Showers is a big one that they've had issues with in the past on the map. Miami has pushed in on short and then doesn't clear showers, and that's a very good peak there. But if Miami utilizes that, then great. I mean, hey, free kills there. But hopefully we see a little bit more picking up from Miami here as they've won this first map. Hopefully they're feeling a little bit excited. They're feeling a little bit more rejuvenated after the last couple rounds here. But hopefully we were able to get into this very soon here. It seems we're heading to game. Our overlay may have broken a little bit, but heading in here, we see a Chamber. Oh wait. Miami is on defense here as we see a Chamber. Oh, yes, finally. A Sentinel. They've done it. They've done it. I'm so happy. But we see a Skye, a Brimstone, a Waylay, and a Viper. Enemy, is that a Veto?
Is that a Veto?
I think that's a Veto.
We can't see the. Oh, I think it is a Veto on the side of NIU.
Okay,
I think that is one.
That's interesting pick. I'm kind of all for it.
Yeah, this Veto agent is the newest agent in the game. It's great at shutting down the other enemy's util and making it not very useful. So. Going this double initiator sort of thing for Miami might be not as successful as they might have once hoped. Oh! But River instantly taken down by Bagel. Miami did decide to go for a Sentinel this time with the Chamber, but that didn't go too well, obviously, because that first one down. But seems like NIU is able to full push onto this B site here. And the rest of Miami is going to be rotating slowly back onto this B side of the map.
As you see Evan here sitting in elbow, he might be able to pick off this Boo here, hopefully. Samlon and Suh on the retake, breaking the utility. Evan getting taken out by Boo. Suh pushing in with all of his utility. Taking it out. Destroyer is dead. Suh pushing in here. Brimstone getting taken out from flank. Get a little bit, getting taken out one. Does not take out the second, as you see Suh still sticking the spike, getting taken out by Viper from Hookah. I mean, kind of a rough round there. Getting the Chamber picked off immediately. Viper getting taken out in that elbow area, immediately being down on a 5v3. It was an uphill battle at that point, able to pick out some really good opponents there, but not able to continue on and take them out. But we're seeing Miami here gearing up a little bit more towards a B, as you have the Brimstone in the U-Haul. That's a very common play from Brimstone. I would know. I was a Brimstone main, if you don't know. But you see the Waylay. Oh, Brimstone switching up with the Waylay here. Waylay pushing more towards that U-Haul area, or they're playing together with 3 people peeking long for Miami, the Viper, the Chamber, and the Sky. Probably just baiting out a little bit more utility here as you see the dog jumping through. It seems to have seen at least 2 of them. Blind going out, TPing. Oh, no. There goes Samlon. They had to ditch him. I mean, honestly, there's nothing you can really do there. You can't trade him on that angle, and you're probably just going to be giving up more of your lives. As we waited out a little bit more, you see Evan and oh shoot, I can't see your name. Anyway, you see them sitting more towards that elbow area, spraying through the smoke. Interceptor active for Vito as you see them sitting back sight. Does Brimstone potentially use his molly here to try to bait him out a little bit? He's not. We're waiting it out. Okay, Saw getting taken out through the smoke. Bagel taking out 2 through the smoke. That was a little bit weird. Anyways, we're waiting it out a little bit more. You see River jumping, getting out, but getting very tagged up in the process. Waiting out a little bit more. Bagel, he wants those kills. He's thirsting. Why would he not reload? He reloads the Ghost, but not his Vandal. Anyway, we waited out a little bit more as Mamba takes out Evan. Both the Vipers, or Viper taking out the other Viper. You see one of them just still holding in the back area. Modi, no movement. Honestly, probably just going to try to die with the spike. Pushing up here, everyone leaving. Honestly, that's another round win for NIU as we watch Modi go up in a blaze of glory.
Modi just getting killed by the spike to get a little bit extra money there. But that is going to be the round loss for Miami, unfortunately. NIU's looking pretty strong on this first map. Pretty clear why they decided to pick this map going into the second round. Miami's going to be going for a three people on A, 2 people on B type setup. Seems like NIU's going to go back for this B side attack. We'll see how this next round goes for Miami. Hopefully they'll have a little bit more of a buy, more guns to take down this NIU team. They really don't want a snowball to start early because, you know, as we did see with Miami, as soon as you can get that snowball going, that could just mean the end of the map for them. And I'm sure Miami really doesn't want to go to a third map here.
As I continue on here, you see them pushing up more towards long here on B site. Viper and Sky holding this angle. A bunch of Viper utility being used on A here just to bait him out a little bit. As you also hear the shots going off. It doesn't seem like the timing was very amazing there, but Dash going in, but Boo able to dodge it as you see 2 back sight, holding, waiting. Viper lurking up here, going to jump up onto box. Bagel up into showers, giving up a lot of space. It seems right now that NIU has just about everything except for the sights, as we're just waiting for a little bit more pushing here. Smokes going away, waiting it out a little bit more. Spike rotating through spawn, going over towards A, as you have both short and showers covered for you. 2 back sight for Miami on this. Ooh, flash going out. Does it find someone? It does find one. Hopefully they don't rotate away from that. Brimstone pushing more towards B. The TP as they debate TPing, rotating over. Suh taking out Mamba, pushing through smoke. Bagel waiting it out. Shooting, does not find the chamber. That was very suspicious. Again, finding. Ooh, that Molly was able to, or that interceptor was able to find a weapon or find a gun. Let's wait out a little bit more. Bagel sitting back sight, sitting over there on that bench area. Smoke's about to go out. Ooh, holding. It seems like they're waiting a little bit more in that U-Haul area. Blinds going through. Contact as we waited out a little bit more. Bullets being traded. No movement quite yet as you see a TP out. Okay, Evan shooting him through the smoke, getting that little trade on him as last round we saw Bagel shoot 2 through the smoke. Oh my goodness, the blind. Evan able to get the trade. Ding. Able to take out another. Last one in showers as we see the defuse going off. Are they able to get it? And defuse is gotten. Miami getting the round win. And Evan taking out Vinx, making sure that they go out without any weapons into the next round. Amazing round from Miami there.
Great stuff from Miami. Able to use those guns to their advantage, bringing things to a 1-2 lead. This is exactly how you want things to go if you did lose that pistol round. Hopefully Miami can keep most of those guns going. As they have 3 members surviving at the end of that round, which is great for them. The rest of NIU is going to be looking to go towards this B site potentially. But we do see couple players frozen. I'm not sure if there's some technical difficulties or they're just staying extremely still. We'll see what ends up going through. We did do a quick pause there, so we might having some technical difficulties on the end of players or production. Not sure too much what's going on right now, but I'm sure we'll get back into the game shortly. But
have a little bit of some technical issues here right now. But hopefully we'll be able to get back into that very soon. But Miami so far has been very strong on their defense. They've had a little bit of trouble on the retake, and honestly, we're seeing the veto that one round when he shot 2 of them through the smoke just immediately. That was crazy. But
Yeah.
they're giving up a lot of space, which is a little bit of a problem right now. As you saw them able to get the shower and short, or see that. Goodness, yes, they were able to get shower and short. Miami was not able to capitalize on that space that they had taken, and they were immediately forced back into back site as you saw them all rush into site, get the plant down. They weren't NIU was not able to hold that space, which is very fortunate for Miami. But going into these later rounds when they have better weapons, that's going to be a little bit more of a scary retake, as they might be able to trade each other a little better, or might be able to get more picks without having to trade. And it's all about trying to make sure that you hold the space. When you have the space, you gain more information and you're able to fall back. If you have no space to fall back on, then you're just giving up sites, and then they're able to get the plant down, and then now it's your turn to have to try to push into something. And right now we're obviously seeing like pushing into things is a little bit of an issue. Vito, I'm going to talk about Vito real quick. He's a scary agent. I mean, you're able to shut down like lineups. You're able to shut down a bunch of utility. I mean, Sky Flash, Sky Dog, Brimstone Molly, Viper. I don't know if it could suck up the orb, but if it could suck up the orb, that would be kind of crazy.
Yeah.
It could definitely suck up the Viper Molly, but you really have to try to take that out so that you don't lose that precious utility. And honestly, that's just a free ability that you just get, and it comes back after 45 seconds, which it can be really strong, can be capitalized on a lot if you're drawing out the round a little bit more. And hopefully we see a little bit more aggression from Miami, just a little, not like swinging in unnecessary angles, but just a little bit more aggression,
Just
to
a little
hold
bit.
space. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But we might go on to a short break, hopefully until they are back into their game. But we will hopefully be back in a moment.
Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Miami Valorant on this bind map. Our overlay is kind of being not very nice to us right now, so it's still broken, so the show must go on. We're going to keep going on with this fourth round. Miami is up. Actually, I think this is incorrect. NIU should be up 2 rounds. Miami should be up 1 round, I believe. I'm not sure, though.
I think you might be right about that.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyways, we do see NIU is going to be pushing up onto this B side of the map, setting up a Skydog through towards Garden. He's going to get instantly shot out. NIU is just going to be full pushing back towards the B side. Miami's have to back off a little bit onto that site and just play a bit further back. There's still some Miami players waiting on the A side for any sort of noise, but I think NIU is just going to fully commit to this B side unless maybe they'll get scared off by some Miami util, but I don't think they will be.
As we see them pushing in here, they get a little bit more backside area. The Molly going out for Cubby, pushing in here, not finding any contact quite yet as they're able to get the plant down freely. It seems no kills have gone out towards either of the teams right now as they immediately start working over towards Elbow. You see 9boo lurking up. He has 0 utility. Skydog going out, seeing, finding one, finding the brimstone. Oh my gosh! Evan finding another. Evan finding 4.
Ace. Wait.
Oh my gosh! Holding.
Oh, Modi, come on. Good stuff though.
Let's go.
Good stuff.
Round for Miami. All right, there we go. Amazing work there from Evan, getting 4 of them. I mean, honestly, once that Vito got pieced, or once he was alone, I mean, what are you going to do? Watch 4 angles? But then he got swung, getting the 4K, and then the last one being in hookah. Just a breezy little cleanup right there. But amazing work from Evan. Great cleanup from everybody else. That was a beautiful round. But as we see Miami here, gearing up a little more towards same. Seems like they're just playing same to how they have been with the Sky and Viper on B. You have that Chamber, Brimstone, and Waylay on A. At Brimstone playing in U-Haul. You know the drill. As we see NIU gearing up more towards an A push here. A dog going out, getting pushed in. A flash going out, not finding anything. Immediately Waylay going into that U-Haul area. Everybody gearing up out here. 9boo with that shotgun. Just gonna sit in this area. They did hear it, so they know that there's a shotgun in there, so we just have to wait it out a little bit. Just gotta hopefully wait out this utility usage as we see those mollies going out. Ult being popped. I believe that is Waylay. Waylay taking out one. Evan taking out the other. Destroyer taking out Suh. See him swing, finding another Evan, finding Bagel, holding the spike. You see that last one, holding the corner. Holding. Have to reload. Oh, gosh. Oh. Honestly, being stuck in a corner with a frenzy and a shotgun coming your way, I mean, there's not much you can really do in that situation. That's just pretty, I mean, that's just terrifying. Getting run and gunned by a stinger while also stuck with the shotgun nearby. I mean, a very good round for Miami, but they were not able to clean up on the last two over there.
Yeah, we see, NIU did that round again. If you're watching at home, the scoreboard's a little bit bugged. It's the wrong side here. So Miami has two, NIU has three, and Miami is on this attack, or Miami is on the defender side. I'm getting confused a little bit too here. NIU is going to be pushing back towards that B site. We're going to see an instant Viper ult going out from B site onto that garden area. Seems like NIU just wants to push through anyway. This Waylay is getting ready to run right into the crosshairs of Evan. Evan takes him down though. 9bu already down on the side, but Bagel able to trade him out through the Viper ult. That means that Viper ult's already going to go down, giving NIU a much better spot at pushing into this B side here. No one of Miami's on the site right now. They're all going to be pushing back through the back site, and it's going to be a bit hard for them to get back through as this bomb is going to go down. It is 4-4 though. So we'll see how this goes through going forward.
As we see them pushing in here, Miami on the retake. You have that Brim ult, watching the angle, holding. Samlon about to peek out here. Flash is getting traded here. Viper Molly going out towards this elbow area, pushing in. No contact just yet. Pushing in. You see Suff finding one. Vinks finding a trade. Bagel taking out another. Modi getting that Brimstone. Modi finding another. It seems that this is seems like right now we're in a 2v1 as the Viper decides to trade. Viper getting one. Find another. Round win for Miami. Amazing work there, bringing it 3-2-3. That overlay just kind of got in the way. It was kind of hard to see where the crosshair was, but good work for Miami getting that round. Even though you did lose all your guns, you still did get that round. Hopefully you aren't sent on to a save because of that loss, though.
Yes, and it is back to 3-3 for Miami. We did see, like you said, everyone from Miami died, so the economy could be a little bit worse here. We are always a little bit broken, so we can't see exactly how the economy is looking right now. But I imagine things are a little bit dire for both teams in terms of the economy, as it is 3-3. So both teams are really going to want to win this round to make sure they have the money and the round a snowball going. Being so even in this early round, though, is pretty good for Miami, considering how NIU seems so confident on this map. So we'll see how things keep going forward. But this is a lot slower start than the last couple rounds have been. NIU seems to be waiting, seeing if they can get any info as to where maybe Miami is located, maybe try to get a pick or a trade here early on and maybe move from there. NIU players, though, as we said, moved all around the map. This Viper could try to sneak up into U-Haul with that wall up. That's the one main advantage with this Viper wall on this map. You can pretty easily sneak up into U-Haul and make the enemy team wary of your presence. Seems like all of NIU is going back towards A. Seems like they've committed to this A-site plan. All of Miami is there ready and waiting, except for our Viper and one other person over there. 9bu able to get two as we try to take aggressive angle over towards Showers, but that did not work out. And now NIU is going to have a lot easier time pushing onto the site. Miami already in a 3v5 here, as things are just getting started onto this A site.
Miami, that ult immediately going out. Modi finding one, sitting in this back area over here, waiting it out a little bit. Ball or util about to be thrown out. That ult, maybe finding one. Modi finding another in the trade out here, as we see Samlon going in here. We're waiting it out. He's gonna find one. Hopefully, oh, he doesn't see him, and Evan is able to get Evan is still able to get the kill here. Now he's over near U-Haul, but he could. Oh, wait, Evan didn't hear it. Okay, we're good. He's got the angle. As we wait here, he's gonna swing out hopefully, and not finding him yet. Molly about to go out. Does not seem to have been on the. Oh, we did get the spike though. We got the spike.
Wait, we defused?
Yeah, we got it.
We got it.
It's just really confusing right now.
Wait, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
We're good. We're good.
We're good.
It's so in the scoreboard we were told that NIU is actually Miami, and the Miami up there is actually NIU. So Miami right now is 4, and NIU is at 3.
We're keeping you on your toes a little bit, chat. And I honestly wasn't sure if he got killed before it was fully diffused because I couldn't see if that diffuse bar was all the way there. But hey, we won the round. Wanrin's a Wanrin, even though we lost everyone again, and we let them get 3 kills. Things are still pretty good for us. We got the more economy, got an extra one on the board, even closer to winning this map, which is what I like to see. And it seems like NIU is going for more split again. Might be a little bit more aggressive than last time on the B site. Miami, thankfully, is pushing back out of there. That aggression has been giving them some easy picks, as we see right there. But Sandline was just caught out there, a little bit unfortunate. The rest of Miami's going to have to rotate fast to try to make sure we can retake this B site. But Miami might just be playing for retakes here. There's not too much they can do to stop this plant right now as this bomb is going down. Evan stuck an elbow with just a sheriff. The rest of NIU is slowly rotating back towards a full B push and getting onto that site here. Miami really needs to coordinate their util well to make sure they can end up out with this round. But as seeing as they're mostly on pistols compared to these rifles, this could be pretty hard for Miami to pull off, but we'll see. We need some really coordinated util here from the side of Miami.
Oh, Bagel taking out Evan there immediately. Bagel taking out another one. Dude, okay, that was immediate. So Miami just got kind of pieced up there right as they tried to push out of the smokes. I mean, being on a save is very difficult to deal with these kind of situations, but you know, you would have thought they would we're grayscale now.
I think someone took a timeout. I expect this to be a timeout on the side of Miami, I would believe. They just lost and are able to buy guns this round, I would assume is what's going on. But again, we cannot see exactly who is doing these timeouts right here. But things are pretty even like we've seen. You know, I think both teams' economies are a bit struggling right now, and I use obviously a little bit better just based on how things end up turning out. But, you know, I think Miami really needs to use this round as a win to make sure they don't keep going back down in the gutter in terms of economy, because that's how you start losing rounds very quickly. And we don't want any to come out of this half with the advantage. It'd be great to end this out tied, or even just with a slight advantage would be really, really nice as we go into our side of attack. I believe Miami will feel a little bit more comfortable on the attacker side of this map. At least I believe so. But, you know, since this map was an NIU's pick, though, I believe that means Miami did pick the side they wanted to start on. So, you know, this could mean that, you know, this attacker half for Miami might be a little bit weaker for them. But either way, I think Miami's looking good. They just need to reinforce the strategy, use these guns to their advantage, and hopefully this timeout was useful for them to look into this next round.
As we see them pushing in here, you see NIU pushing more towards a B push here, with Miami very spread out as they have been before. Hopefully this chamber pushes into the showers area, tries to get that space, because if they do go all long and they see a little bit more contact, they're definitely going to try to rotate with that TP. We see them. Oh, Vito ult coming out here as we see him about to entry in. Satchel's going out, Stim Beacon going out as we see them push in here. Waylay going in with a very fast push. He's falling back. Pooh's waiting. As we see Vinks about to push Evan. Doesn't find any contact there as we continue to wait out. Blind going out. Samlon able to find one. Does he find the Brimstone? He falls back immediately. Probably a very good call there just to play safe, just in case. As you see everybody else fall back. It seems like the Vito's about to get spotted out. Does not get stunned. This is because of his ult. As we see it wait out a little bit more. As that ult goes out, it is not going to spot the Vito because it does, but it still obviously doesn't blind him. As you see him pushing in here. They do know that he is holding that angle. Chamber about to peek. Chamber is on. He's gotten on top of two of their enemies this round, but as we see him pushing in a little bit more, Brimstone on top. Does not see the Chamber. Nice! Big pick there. And we see Samlon and River getting a pick from the corner. Spike is about to have to get defused. Samlon lives. Is not able to get half, though, and that's going to be round win for NIU. But both do die. So that is huge in terms of Miami, as they should hopefully still be able to buy, and all the guns for NIU were taken out. But that was a good round. The retake was good. If they could have just done it a little bit faster, they would have been a little bit more set.
Yeah, I would have liked to see a little bit more speed there from Miami. And, you know, unfortunately, Evan wasn't able to use his op to kill that Viper, and Viper's able to stop that defuse, which ended up, you know, just little moments like that can lead to the round win for NIU. Either way, good stuff from both teams. You know, just sometimes, you know, you can't always win every aim duel, which is totally fine. People make mistakes, and this is a chance for Miami to win this next round and make things back up from their mistake. Give them still a chance at coming out of this half with an advantage. With this next round win would be huge. See what goes through here, but NIU going pretty fast in the B side, already putting down an ult, already taking down Samlon, who's in a bad spot in the corner, already in that ult. And Miami on, I think they're still saving on this round for Miami. Really unfortunate in terms of their economy this entire half. And they're going to have to try to retake the site against the full NIU team. They're all swinging into their guns, though. Bagel able to get 3 as they're unable to get any more than one trade. Bodhi able to take down Bagel, but that's a little too late, as almost the entirety of Miami was taken down by just Bagel swinging into the rest of that team. Getting a 1-3 trade is pretty huge for the side of NIU.
As you see him pushing in here, he's most likely going to smoke Kuka as he continues to push in here. You have 3 of them watching that angle. They're waiting. They're ready. Oh, the push swing. He does not find anything yet. You see the Viper up there. Does not take out the Viper and gets taken out. As we saw, the Waylay went in and stunned Samlon as immediately the ult was dropped. That's a huge thing that a bunch of pro play has been doing recently, and it is honestly very hard to counter because you have to be not hit by that Waylay ult or by that Waylay ability, and that Waylay ability pops really, really fast. But a round win going over towards NIU, bringing it to 4-6 in favor of NIU. You see 3 pushing more towards this A site. It seems like the Waylay has rotated over, which is a little unfortunate as we see a big push more towards A this round. Brimstone holding that U-Haul with Chamber holding that backside area. Viper Wall going in, a bunch of mollies throwing out. You see River is stunned, but a bunch of flanks right now. Util going out, a bunch of people slowed on site. Waylay going in, Vinks finding River, pushing in, the molly going out. Ooh, Mamba shooting Modi through the smoke. Immediate rotate for and there's one NIU back sight on that corner. You're not going to see it, and he is going to take out Samlon as well. Suck getting the trade immediately. Plant going down. Miami is on an all-time retake here. It seems that it is a 3v2, and Miami is going to have to deal with all 4v2, as you see all 4 of them holding the same spawn angle. The weird part is they are not going to be going on that. They're going to be going into the enemy spawn, and it seems they're going to save, which is honestly a very good call, especially when you're down this many times in rounds. You need to keep your guns up, so at least maybe going into the last round, you should have a little bit more of an advantage. But what did you see going into that round that maybe Miami needs to work on, or maybe that they misplayed on potentially?
Yeah, it's just been like kind of the opening picks for NIU have been really strong. They've just been able to open up these rounds and then take advantage of that opportunity and go in really fast. And I think that's something Miami could be a little bit better on. I'm not too sure if that means, maybe staying a little bit back on site, maybe trying to re-coordinate a little bit more. But, especially for this economy for Miami, it's been really unfortunate. It seems like they've had to like barely scrape by on credits pretty much this entire game. So that's definitely contributed a little bit to Miami not performing as well. But here's their chance to bring this to a 7-5, which if they did that and then one pistol round, things would be pretty much back to even again, and things would be all right. But losing this round would mean things are pretty dire for Miami going to this next half, which means they have to do a lot to make sure that they can win this map and move forward and not have NIU bring us to a map 3. But we'll see how this last round of this half goes. Miami has full guns and so many people about to swing this Gardens angle. 3 people on Miami are sitting here, and we also see 4 people from NIU about to swing this angle as well. And we see Waylay was dashing but got flashed, decided to dash right back. But Suh swinging out by himself and getting taken down by the enemy Waylay as well. A bit of an unfortunate swing there. Maybe thought that his team would swing with him or could get a quick pick, but unfortunately was taken down, and the rest of Miami had to fall back and could not even trade his body. And that's going to mean 4 members of NIU are slowly creeping on the site as the rest of Miami is stuck back in this elbow situation yet again. This seems to happen pretty often on this B site, and he's been pushing here a lot, getting an opening pick and then forcing Miami back into elbow. And the rest of Miami has been trying their best to retake the site, but retaking B site here has been pretty difficult. But Evan getting 2, taking the words right out of my mouth.
Backside.
Oh, Vinks taking out Evan though. The trades are going out back and forth. Now it's just a 1v1. Vinks versus Samlon. Samlon has all the health in the world, but Vinks is on 1 HP. 1 bullet from this gun, and it is over for Vinks. We'll see. Creeping around the corner.
Yes!
And yes, able to use the reaction time and take him down. That's a huge round win for Miami. Huge comeback there. You did see, Samlon and Evan able to get those good picks on the retake early, which allowed for Samlon to close this out with just the 1 kill onto Vinks. Like I said earlier, going into this next half, 7-5 is not so bad for Miami. They could win this pistol round, which means they could win the second round and most likely bring this to a 7-7 going into round 16, which would be huge for Miami. But of course, they have to do all that they can to win this pistol round. And this pistol round is going to be very volatile for them. It seems like they're going to go a little bit opposite of the NIU strategy, and they're going to go first onto this A site using that Viper wall, that pretty much default Viper wall that every single team uses. They throw that Viper wall down there every single round. It's kind of trains the enemy team to be careful of a Viper kind of lurking towards the A site, even if no one's even there. And it allows them to turn on that wall, have a free walk to either the teleporter or to U-Haul. It's a very, very strong wall. And it seems like Miami's going to be using this here as they're going to go for a 5 push onto A site through short.
A little bit slow here as we begin to push on, pushing through that Viper wall, trying to get a little bit more ground here. As we see him pushing up the Brimstone, pushing through the smoke, able to get a pick. That's amazing as we push into U-Haul. Hopefully they place, if they're playing this very right, they should be able to get this here. But you have a bunch of people showers. This is a big thing that, a big issue that happens whenever you're on this, map and you don't push showers. You have 2 people lurking more in that area. Although it does seem this time that they're a little bit more wary. They're waiting it out, blinding going through. They do know they're in there. Finding another one. Samlon getting the pick. Oh, are they going to be able to find this waylay?
Oh,
They are able to. No, they are not able to get the trade as Bagel gets taken out. Mama. Oh, my goodness. Very interesting molly there from Modi. As we saw, I mean, honestly, it felt like he did more damage there than the enemy did to him. But, I mean, they had an amazing push into sight. Just losing them all in that little showers push was probably not the best bet, as you probably should have just played back more towards main, or more towards short, excuse me, and just waited it out a little bit more. Or playing more in that U-Haul area, playing those close angles, swinging off of each other. That probably would have been the better bet there. But right now we see NIU with an 8-5. Going into their buy round right now.
yeah, that was a really unfortunate pistol round there. You know, that timing on that molly was not the greatest, and the way and then the waylay getting 2 through showers. You know, just another sequence of unfortunate events for Miami. As you know, it seems like NIU has just been really good at winning these ones and winning these aim duels and getting these first picks. That has really made Miami start crumbling here as we go through. Hopefully Miami can start to learn from their mistakes as we start to get guns and get these trades out. But Evan, unfortunately, started taken down by 9 over on the A site. But Miami is already full push on the B site and forcing NIU back into elbow. Kind of what they were doing to them the last round. Stowe's going to push through the molly there and get taken down though by the Viper. Modi trying to back him up with a trade, also gets taken down, and it's just Samlon now with this classic and unable to do much as Bagel takes him down, and that's going to be another pretty easy defuse for NIU. All 5 members of NIU staying alive, going into 9-5 for NIU, which is pretty similar to how the last map went for Miami. And we are going to have to see how Miami can bounce back from this with the guns, with hopefully a new strategy to try to bring this back for the side of them. Comeback here is definitely still possible, but they definitely got to work a little harder for it than they would have previously.
Definitely. And Miami has to win this round. That's the most imperative point of this. They have to win this round so they can bring it to that 9-6 and then continue with that. You can't let them win that next round, otherwise they then have the better eco. Keep as many people alive in this round as possible, because then you don't have to buy that next round. You don't have to buy that 4th round. And then in that 5th round, you'll have more guns, you'll be able to save a little bit more, and then going into that 5th, you should have much more money. As you see it pushing in here, we have the waylay about to preparing to go in. That waylay molly, man. As you see it waiting it out a little bit more, about a swing. Oh, getting dinked through the wall. Keel going out, Dog going in, hopefully not going to find anybody. As we see it, is luckily unable to bite anybody as we waited out a little bit more. Dog going in for our team. They do know they're in that corner. Smoke, oh! They're able to find it. They are able to find it. Oh, they're able to find 2. Samlon Suh pushing up here into showers. Viper Molly going in. You do know has to be at least one other person here, as you have the others pushing in. Oh, we're about to see a contact. Evan getting the Viper. Pushing in here, Brimstone. Very low, able to take out one. He's waiting it out a little bit more. He peeks, takes out another. Samlon getting a second, as we see him pushing in here. The Bagel. Bagel in spawn. Is he going to push in here? Is he going to be able to save his gun? As we see him pushing in a little bit more. Taking in this little metal hallway area. Pushing in, he spots triple, doesn't see anything, continues to push through. Miami is playing together, each holding a different angle. It seems like Chambers on top of the box with everyone else playing more towards U-Haul. You see Bagel pushing in. Is he going to be able to find anything? He's going to have to clear that right angle. Swinging in, finds 1. Bagel finds the gun. Is able to find 3. Oh my gosh.
For Bagel, and Evan is very low.
Is not able to find the 4th, but wow, that was a huge loss there. They won the round, but at what cost? They lost so many weapons.
That's
terrifying.
Yeah, even if NIU lost the round, that's as much of a win as they could get at that point, because it was a 1v4 and they somehow killed everyone but one person. And what Miami wanted to do there was win that round and keep as many guns as possible. Now, most of Miami's probably going to have to light buy here, which is not great for them, especially when they want to keep winning these rounds to try to bring this back, because being down 9-6 and being down economy is not very good here for the side of Miami. We see Evan still has that gun here, but, this round started very well, but then Bagel just able to attack at Miami from their spawn and just take everything down here. So we'll see how things go moving forward. Ooh. River tries to peek here, but gets body shot by that outlaw, and it's gonna have to fall back. I'm not sure if Miami still wants to push this B garden area. We might see, they might try to wait and see if Samlon can get any info towards A side, but it seems like they're all rotating back for a B push here. This outlaw might be a bit scary for them to push into. This Willie does have has alt online as well, which can really help slow Miami down as they try to push into the site.
Oh!
We'll see. Oh, that jump spot almost caught out River, but the shot was barely missed. Miami's kind of at a standstill right now.
Why tempt it?
River peeked again, but this time Ninebu winning their shot, and Ninebu getting a kill onto Sa there. That Outlaw providing so much value holding down this garden. Miami is now still at a standstill with 45 seconds left in the round. They have no picks, no info, no really ground gained either. Things are really not looking great for them at the start of this round. Looks like they might have some sort of info in Hookah. Might try to push out here. Stamlon has his ult, which might be helpful, but we just got to see how they can kind of attack at this site. Now, NIU knows that most of Miami's going to be at B. They only have 30 seconds left. Stamlon's going to try to flash out, try to push on the site very fast. 3 members of NIU right there. Vinx and Bagel able to take them down instantly. Modi able to get a trade onto Bagel, but Vinx getting that trade onto Modi. And I think Ninebu, with that outlaw towards Garden, just really changed this outcome of the round. River peeking into that 4 times, allowed them multiple opportunities to kill her, and that it did. And Ninebu got a pretty easy kill onto Sut, who again just swung through by himself. And I think Miami's got to really rethink their strategy here on how to attack this area as a team. And there goes the timeouts, which might be Miami's timeout for the second half. But like I've been saying, Miami has been, looking a little less practice on this Kuro, a little more like they're playing as individuals and not as a team, which is something that, when you're playing in this sort of team sport of Valorant, in sort of conference and at this collegiate level, this highest level of play that you might be playing in, you can't really play as a team. You can't really give them their ones, or else things like this are going to happen. He's going to get the opening pick, and then the rest of the round's just going to snowball for them. But what did you kind of think Miami could maybe be talking through as they go to this timeout?
I mean, honestly, after seeing that outlaw, I don't think you peek it. You don't jump peek that, especially after we've seen like these people have some very good trigger discipline, very good shots that they're hitting, and just peeking that and tempting fate, especially at 10 HP, is not the best bet, as that is exactly what people with an outlaw want you to do. They want you to push. They want you to push when you're low HP, when you have light shields. You should fall back there. They only have 2 shots, but those 2 shots can be 2 kills very fast. What they probably should have done there is rotated and gotten into the other site. The other site seemed a little bit more clear. At least it didn't have an outlaw to deal with. And I mean, honestly, that's probably your best bet. Peeking it, once again, not a good call there. But we see Miami immediately entering onto A. Saw getting a pick on Boo as they fast entry here. There is a Brimstone more towards the site. Yeah, he is able to find 1. Are they able to find 2? You see the outlaw going out more towards Saw. Bagel taking out Modi. Ult. Evan finding Bagel. Evan just holding out, waiting. That Brimstone ult was a little bit of a waste, as you saw nothing was really there. It's peeking in a little bit more as he swings out. Is he going to be able to find the Viper? Does not find the Viper. And another round goes to NIU. That was a massacre there a little bit for a second. I mean, the fast push from Miami was a good call, but then the Brimstone close just kind of caught you off guard. Playing in that angle is very dangerous, but honestly, when it nets you that kind of those kind of kills, it's kind of worth it in the long run.
Yeah, and you had some good positioning there to fight off the Miami fast push, and that's kind of where everything crumbled. And then, Evan just losing that 1v1 at the end is kind of unfortunate. It kind of happens, but, Miami had a good idea at first, but, they didn't really have too much of the economy to back it up, unfortunately. And that brings things to 11-6. Things are super dire for Miami. They have to start winning rounds, or else this is going to have to go to an overtime situation if they want any chance of winning this round. An operator was spotted on this A site, but it seems like Miami's a little bit unbothered. They're going to go anyway. This whale is going to really make sure that NIU can't really stop them too easily onto this site. Miami has site control, but Bomb is not planting it. Samlon going to try to plant the bomb. So with another kill on the 9-boo, that's going to be huge for Miami trying to hold down the site. Bomb is planted, and Miami has full guns weighted into the back of the site. We do see Samlon going for the Sky ult, trying to find out where NIU might be, trying to really close out this round here. Bagel is going to get sprayed a bit through the smoke, but not taken down. Destroyer taking down Evan. It's still 4v3 for Miami, still up on members, but NIU is slowly taking their space back for Miami as Miami's holding back and trying to hold the spike and play time as long as they can.
As we see him pushing in here, we have big U-Haul space here and one a little bit close. Getting sprayed through the smoke, Modi getting taken out through the box. As you see him pushing in a little bit more. 3 of them against 3 against 3. That Sky Blind getting a little bit in the way. Chamber getting taken out. Samlon, the only one remaining. Samlon taking out another. Just gotta hold it. And that seems like round goes to Miami. Great work there from Miami, but they did lose all of their weapons just for that round win. Going into this next round, let's hope that they had a little bit of cred saved up, because otherwise they're on a save, and then it's going into a 12-7 round. But just good work getting onto that site. Sadly unable to keep all your weapons, but getting the kills, getting onto site, holding that space, especially losing an op for the enemy team. That was quite big there.
Damn, the op is huge for Miami, and a round win, of course, is huge for Miami, but losing all of your members in that round is not great either. A timeout going through, I assume, from the side of NIU this time. We'll see what this timeout brings. I think Miami could very well use this timeout too. Both teams could use this timeout. You know, Miami, unfortunately, because they lost other guns, I was about to say, they're probably still not able to full buy rifles. Rifles. I obviously don't know what their economy looks like exactly from their team because we cannot see, unfortunately, because our overlay broke. But I assume Miami's economy is still hurting a little bit compared to NIU. NIU has all of those round wins to back up their economy here. So I think NIU is just going to try to think of a new strategy to go into this last round. They really want to close this out here because, you know, you don't want to let Miami have any chance of coming back because it's still definitely a winnable round, especially since they have at least a round of wiggle room to work with to bring this to overtime. But of course, Miami would like to just win the next 6 in a row and take us home. But we'll see what happens here. We go into this next round. Miami needs a really tight game plan to go into this next round, especially if they were lower on gun value compared to NIU to really close out this round. But I believe Miami can do it. They just need the right strategy going into this first pick. Can't let NIU take that first pick because, you know, after that, they've shown that they can snowball that into a round win going forward.
As we see here, Miami is pushing more towards a B push. Viper ult going out towards A short here. Viper lurking up towards that A shower, or our Viper looking up towards A showers as you see the remainder of everybody else just kind of lingering a little bit. We're playing slow. We do have a save, but hopefully we're trying to get some picks off here. It doesn't seem like anybody's peeking though. Dog going in, not finding any contact as we continue to remain on this slow round. Watching, waiting, nothing happening quite yet. As you continue waiting, everyone just holding. Samlon thinking about pushing. Also continue to rotate. It seems like they're gearing up more towards a showers push as we continue to keep this slow round moving. Viper continue to sit in her enemy. Viper continue to sit in her ult. No movement just yet. That blind is huge. Not finding anybody. We continue to push in here. Pushing in. Maybe gonna find some contact. Blind getting. Oh. As we see that Sky was able to take out pushing more towards backside. Samlon getting the pick through the smoke as well.
Great pick.
As we immediately start getting more on the site. Viper ult coming out. Are we able to get the plant down? Hopefully we have our Sky. Oh, ult going in. I can't tell if that was ours or theirs.
30 seconds
As we
left.
see the ult going out, we get a little bit more pushing into site here. Vink spraying through smoke. Samlon finding the enemy Viper. Everyone taking a little bit more space. Spike not down quite yet as you see Samlon's planting outside of the Viper ult. Viper holding. Let's hope Samlon gets back into. Oh my gosh, Samlon with a 3K. Modi falling back, going back towards short. Hopefully going to try to find a little bit more of an ult angle. As you see him pushing in Samlon. Able to find a fourth. Samlon holding out. We got the ace. We got the ace potential. We just gotta wait it out. Let's hope he doesn't. Let's just hope we can get the round win. If someone can kill it, that's what's huge. We don't need the ace. We just need the round win. As we wait a little bit more, we see that the enemy Waylay is pushing back into the spawn, not giving the ace, but also not giving the kill. As Miami falls back after using, it seems, two ults potentially from that round. That Viper ult, though, was huge as it was able to stall them on site for a lot longer. And it seems that now they are just going to fall back and save 4 weapons from that on a save, which is just beautiful. After having that save, like, keeping all of your weapons to be able to get more, like, I mean, hey, there's no complaints there. That's putting them in putting NIU in a pretty dire situation if they don't have the creds to back up that round loss.
That was a phenomenal round for Miami. I will say both Viper ults were spent, and Miami ended up winning that round on a save, like you were saying. NIU was able to save a gun there, which is good for them to at least have 1 gun left. I'm not sure how their economy is looking either, but Miami should be pretty good to pretty much buy everyone. You know, we did see only ended up dying at the beginning of the round last time. So Miami, I expect to go to a pretty similar strategy. They can execute the same way. They have the ults advantage. They have the Sky ult. They have the Brim ult, I know for sure. So they can use those ultimates to their advantage as they go into this next site. They just can't let those kills not get traded here. And hopefully, as they can push through, this Brim ult did go out from the side of NIU. They did not get anyone in Miami, but it did slow them down a little bit. But Miami is still unshaken about this A push. They're going to go full in. Most of NIU is going to be at this A side though, ready for this Miami push. It's going to be more V5 as we push in here. Evan with a great kill right away, but unfortunately getting taken down early again. A little bit of a trade happening there, and we just and Nineboo just takes out another kill on the Salon through the smoke. Miami is down a player here as the rest of NIU is going to rotate back to site. Bomb is planted. They do have a bit of an angle going through here, but Miami has to really hold down the site. They cannot take these unsafe angles. Modi going to be waiting for Destroyer to push through. Nineboo able to spray through and take down Evan again. Modi able to get a kill, but gets traded out, and River gets killed by Destroyer again as well. That Nineboo getting that kill through the smoke, getting that double kill, really set things flip things around for NIU and made them able to win this round out. Good stuff from NIU, but for Miami, it's getting really desperate now. As you are 12-8, so you have to win the next 4 rounds in a row to even bring us to overtime. And I can't imagine that economy is looking too good either.
Definitely not, especially after that 2K through smoke. If that 2K through smoke didn't happen, I believe Miami possibly would have taken the round there, especially with like all the utility that they had. Like Samlon still had his ults with all of his utility still in the back pocket. It was just an unfortunate spray down. That's honestly just Valorant for you. As we see, it seems they're gearing up once more towards another A push with a bunch of utility going out towards that showers. You see Sa pushing in, is taken out by 9bu. Everyone else pushing in, getting a slowed. 9bu getting another kill on Samlon. River falling back. Definitely a good fallback, especially with 3 of them watching that angle. As you see everybody else geared up more towards B. They really have to work hard for this win if they want to get this. As you see Viper preparing to peek. Evan peeking, working up, taking out Modi. Evan getting taken out as well, and now it is a 1v5. And that is a game, set, match for NIU. But this sends us into a 1-1. It is now the deciding match for the game. We are going to be going on to split. But first, let's recap how that game went.
You see the scoreboard a little bit here. We do see most of NIU at the top of that scoreboard. That was a great map for NIU to go through. This is pretty much a carbon copy of what happened with Miami on Crowd. Both maps ended 13-8. With the winning team ending up with an 8-4 lead coming out of, or sorry, I think it was 7-5 this time for NIU, but still pretty similar for both teams. Both teams won their own maps. We're gonna look at the MVP here. Bagel on the side of NIU with that MVP, 22 kills, 14 deaths, and 285 ACS. We do see Evan on side of Miami going even 17-7 with 5 first kills. And we do see, all around on NIU, they had some pretty great performances going through. Miami obviously struggling a little bit, especially at that first half of the map. And yeah, this map was good for Miami. First map went great for Miami. Second map went great for NIU. Can NIU keep that momentum going into this third map, or can Miami find their old strength again going into this third map? But then there's the elephant in the room, which is this third map splits, which honestly, us from a cast point of view, Miami has not played split at all in this ESC season with this new team. Not sure about NIU, but the split map is going to be very, very interesting to see. It is the decider map. That means no teams pick it. They just kind of let it through to the end if we needed it towards the end. It seems like we'll need it here as things are 1-1 Miami versus NIU. Are you excited for the split map?
I am very excited for this split map. It's going to be a big deciding match. We just hopefully have to see Miami show up here, play their hearts out, and just not give up too many rounds. You gotta play safe. You gotta keep your weapons, and you just gotta take them out as much as you can. Even if you lose the round, as long as you keep some of your members alive with good weapons, don't always stay alive. That's an eco little trick for you. But just try to keep as many weapons as you can as you continue on in the rounds. Get your eco flowing, and then hopefully continue winning. But we are gonna jump over here to a short break for right now as we wait for this next round to get started. But don't go anywhere, and we will be right back with match 3 split.
Hello and welcome back to Miami versus NIU. Map 3, we're going to split. Everything seems to work this time, guys. Round of applause to Prod Team for fixing the issues. And we got our wonderful little overlay back up. And we're seeing these two different comps coming out. How do you feel about these comps going through, as Modi still hasn't selected an agent yet?
I mean, honestly, right now it seems more like comfort picks than like maybe meta. Clove is a very good pick here, but Astra is the meta for split. Honestly, I would say like whatever you're most comfortable on. If you haven't played this map before, right now we're seeing a little bit more Viper. Viper's also a very strong pick on this map, but albeit a little non-conventional one. As you also have the Sky, the Waylay, and originally we saw two Vetoes, but Bagel is going to continue to run up the Sentinel role on Vito. He did quite well in that role last map. Hopefully he doesn't continue to do well as we go into this next game. But we're seeing the Chamber on Evan, a very popular pick for him. Modi with the Omen, once again, another very popular pick. Duelist, Waylay, Samlon, always the net initiator, always the reliable, and River on the Clove. Going into this, having two smokes agents is for both teams is a very good pick here, as you have one for one site and one for the other, each one able to cover whatever the other one can't. Cloves are very close range, a lot like Brimstones. You have to be really close to be able to smoke them. But with the Omen, you have those long range smokes, so you should be able to cover a little bit more area if you can't cover them with Clove. Samlon, the Sky for both teams, just an amazing pick all around. One of the better Sentinels, one of the better initiators. And then Chamber and Vito, honestly, we'll just see how this battle goes as we continue on. Both Waylays, I mean, kind of to be expected. But what do you think they need to be doing going into this first half here on Split?
Yeah, so I agree with you a little bit. I think NIU's comp is maybe a little more stronger in my opinion, and it seems like Miami might be playing just a little bit more of comfort picks, trying to see what they can get success on and what they can find success on. And I think if Miami can rely on their own gameplay, they're playing characters they're comfortable on. If they're talking, they're working together. I think they just really need to make sure on this defender side, starting this pistol round, they need to communicate and push things together because getting caught out by a ghost early in the round, losing a player in pistol round is much more harder to come back from, I would say. So as we see this full push on NIU, I think Miami should try to either swing together, try to get a pick, or maybe fall back and wait to play for retake here. But either way, I think Miami playing a little bit slower, at least at first, will be to their benefit, as NIU is going to go very, very fast, pushing everyone else in Miami into heaven, but decides to back out and go towards main site here. And we see NIU should be pretty clear to plant this bomb as Miami is going to slowly start to push out back from showers. Bagel might be caught off guard here. Oh. He's able to get one onto River. Flashed out though. Samlon a little bit slowly takes him out. We're back to 3-3 on both sides here, but the bomb is down for NIU, so they're at a bit of a slight advantage.
Oh, going in, able to get the pick, but they did lose a lot of HP there. As you see the remainder of the last two, they're on full HP. Healing up, going from Sky. That is a huge ability here as they begin to push up here. We have one back side. We have one on each side of the site. You see Sky getting taken out. Get it, 9 taking out one, and we're able to get the first round for Miami. Amazing work. And as you can see, our beautiful, beautiful overlays are back. We're able to actually have information and do the game. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yes, I'm very happy that it's working back again, and we can now see what everyone has and how much money they have. That's insane. That's lovely. I love to see that. And as we see, Miami did win that first pistol round. They're going to go for a bit of a heavier buy here. We just see, things like the Guardian, things like the Outlaw, things like, maybe Stinger with heavy shields are going to come out from the side of Miami. But NIU did lose their round, unfortunately. Is likely going to just buy up their abilities and save that money for the next round. And Miami's getting prepped with a pretty similar strategy. 3A on Heaven and 2B on Heaven. And we're going to see how this goes for NIU. Going to go back towards that full rush A. They might go up to Heaven, get up close to personal since they have those shorter range guns with those pistols, but we'll have to wait and see how this goes. So I think NIU's just going to dash around the site and probably try to plant as fast as they can.
As we see him pushing in here, we're waiting out a little bit. NIU getting a little more aggressive here. They kind of need to if they want to try to get those picks. They're pushing up more into spawn. As you see the Omen in the Cypher, or Omen in the Chamber, seeming to fight the NIU as we see him in that corner. Blind going out, not seeing anything quite yet. Pushing more into that spawn. They activated the flank trip from pushing in the front. That spike is down as they continue to push in here. Oh, Vinks finding one, finding two as we get on to backside. Hopefully we're able to get at least half before the rest of them push in here. Molly going in, able to find a little bit more contact. Sprays going out, finding another, finding a third. Oh, not able to clean it up as NIU gets round 2. Able to piece them up in a very uncomfortable way with all those right clicks from the classic.
Yeah, I think NIU played that round just as good as they could have. Pushing in immediately as getting up close to personal with those pistols. That's where they're going to get the most value, and they can pick up those guns and push right through, which is exactly what they just did. That's really not what you want to see from Miami. That's not how things were supposed to go based on the economy. And now NIU from that last save and picking up Miami's guns has enough to full buy, and now Miami's the one saving. NIU is looking to turn this lead back in their favor, but Miami has to be careful here and try to get as many picks as they can. And it seems like they're going to be kind of waiting in this corner, expecting their full A rush, but NIU decided to switch things up on them and actually go back for more of a mid/B push.
As you see them pushing in here, you got that Chamber. We're lurking over towards Mail. Everybody just playing slow here. You got that Omen and Chamber over towards B. And, Mamba able to find Suh. You see Samlon very low right now as he tries to prepare to fight. He's going to be going into the going away over into water as the rest of them continue to push on. Boo getting onto site. Everyone else pushing Heaven. Chamber, did they see? They saw him. They know he's there. Chamber getting taken out as we see Sky pushing it a little bit more. Everybody falling back towards Garage. You have one, it looks like you have one Omen playing a little bit closer to site here. The blind going in, finding him. They do know he's there as the remainder of the two continue to lurk in from spawn. Pushing in here, you have that Viper over in their garage area watching. I think she has lineups, honestly, as the remainder of them push around. Samlon lurking around, maybe trying to find that flank or just checking to make sure no one's peeking up mid. More slow, more no movement as they continue. 5 people to 3. Samlon, honestly, they might just be waiting out to see when Spike blows up and then just kind of go down with the Spike as we see them waiting it out a little bit more. No movement just yet. Nothing. It seems like we have one pushing in towards spawn on that slow push. Vinx finding a kill there. And bomb goes off, taking Vinx, River, and Modi with it. That was a very slow and very interesting round to watch, as we saw there. No guns at that point for Miami, and they just weren't able to take... Well, they were able to take one with them, but they weren't able to pick that one off on their own.
Yeah, I mean, was trying to do that little strategy. Samlon, I think, was the one who got caught out there by the enemy. But, if you end up dying on the round, you do get slightly more money if you end up just saving, if you had just a classic. Ideally, you want to die to the bomb so you don't give the extra money to the enemy team, which unfortunately happened to one of our players. But 2 of the players successfully did the plan. So that's all well and good. You see Miami able to full buy guns, and that's a refreshing shield as well for most of the team. So things going to be somewhat even here towards the guns, but NIU is going to go for a fast mid push. They already have mid control fully taken, and now they can kind of decide where they want to go. They have one player on each side of the map in main as well, so Miami is really just waiting to see what these 3 in the middle of NIU decide to do here, and it seems like they're actually trying to push into Evan. He's able to TP out, thankfully, as the rest of NIU decides to not follow him up towards B, and they're going to kind of still wait and see what info they can gather. They might fall back and go for an A main push with the rest of the team through sewers, which seems like it might be the plan to go through, but Miami has been able to make sure that their aggression and their utility has not been able to give them any picks, which has really forced NIU to slow down from these fast starts they've been doing in the past.
As we see them pushing in here, you're about to see a little bit more contact here in a moment. No movement just yet. River eventually about to find someone as they push in. River is not able to find anyone as Bagel finds the trade. Suh is now up in heaven, up with our set with Samlon as we waited out a little bit more. The Astra ult coming out, negating all of the noise as they get onto site. Plant beginning to go down as Miami is unable to hear it. They're just waiting out the wall. Ooh, the dog going in, is not able to find the Astra as more of the Viper. Ooh, as the Sky utility is popped, and it does not see Bagel as Suh is taken out. Bagel finds a third as 2 remain right now, each one in the corner. Destroyer and Boo finding 1 each, and that is a round for NIU, bringing this to 1-3.
Yes, good stuff from NIU, and I'm starting to get a bit nervous for this Miami roster. This, losing that second round is really, really not good for them and could potentially cost them the entire map depending on how they play this going forward. As we've seen the last map we just saw, if Miami gets in a really bad economy deficit, it's really hard for them to come back and bring things back in their favor. So NIU still looking with this 1-3 lead, this is a 3-1 lead, with the money, with the guns. Miami has not really the economy. They're looking to bring this up to potentially a 4-1 here, depending on how Miami plays this. So Miami really needs to focus on getting picks and being really smart with how they play this map, because letting NIU get too much of a snowball could mean that things are very, very difficult for them going forward. Nine pushing out from heaven, going onto the B site. The rest of Miami is kind of falling back here off of sites. We do see Evan stuck kind of in this corner here. Might get caught out by someone, but it seems like they're just going to give NIU the site and try to play retake together with their pistols.
We're about to see a potential trade here. When this smoke goes away, one of them will end up dying in this situation. Pushing in here, no movement just yet. Everyone just waiting it out. You have a big pinch here from Miami. They can push in from heaven and from this elbow, or from alley area. Oh, Suh getting taken out a little bit, getting a little bit of his HP dropped. Vinx taking out Suh from heaven. Evan getting very low on that damage. Vinx, Bagel, each one taking out another one of our Miamis, as we see 2 remaining for Miami, each one in that elbow area. Not finding any contact. Everyone holding that angle, pushing it even more. Everyone swinging. Evan able to find one, getting taken out by Mamba for another round for NIU. Miami on a save, losing that round as well. Honestly, getting onto that site there for NIU was just quite easy. They pushed on, got the plant down, and then just played for time. Even with all 5 of Miami trying to do that retake, it was not enough, as we saw them able just to piece each one up, then hold the angle where they knew both of them were, and then just take them out. I mean, this team is very coordinated this map. It seems that they may have had at least a little bit of practice on it, and as we see going into the next round, we only seem to have Sky ult, but we're very close to Chamber, and if we were able to get that, that could potentially turn the tides of one of these save rounds.
Yeah, and Miami has their guns back up. Both teams have full rifles, full shields, hopefully full utility, so we're going to have to see how this goes through. Miami really needs this round to win. Otherwise, the advantage for the first half is almost assuredly going in NIU's hands. This is a make or break round for the side of Miami. They can't make any big mistakes here. NIU took mid control back, is being a little bit slow about it. Samlon was spotted by that Sky Flash util, was able to luckily get out. But NIU, again, still has this full mid control, and they have a Viper pretty deep into A main, so this could be a likely A push for them. Bagel might deciding to push down through vent, but this could be end up scary for NIU if they decide to go for that. NIU kind of testing the water, so both ways. Besides that, B might be the place for them to go. Saw unable to take down the Whaley before she TP's back, and then Destroyer able to trade him back out. Evan able to get the trade onto Destroyer, though. Things are 4-4, but NIU seems a bit more prepared on this B site than Miami does. Miami already forced back out, even though it's just 9 currently on the site. The rest of NIU slowly getting back to the site, but Miami is, again, a little bit scared to push the site just yet, even though the bomb's not down. They're going to wait for this retake to go through. 9 planting back in this corner, gonna try to play for time, but Bagel from NIU is going to be pushing up towards heaven, and the rest of Miami might not be able to catch him out, but that Sky ult is gonna catch it. There's a flanker right there. Is River gonna be able to catch him out? He's flashed. Yes, River's able to take down Bagel. Bagel's able to take down another player, though. Miami back to 3-3, pushing back on the site. NIU in a great position here to hold the spike. Modi able to take one down on 9bu, but Evan, unfortunately, didn't expect another one back in the corner. Vinx taking down Modi, and River getting taken down by a shorty through the smoke. And that's NIU taking yet another round after just, some small advantages from NIU, small mistakes from Miami. Just NIU's really able to capitalize off of every single moment that might bring them into favor and taking that to a round win. And that's definitely a strength that I've seen from NIU in these past 2 maps. And Miami has had a really hard time recovering from these sort of rounds.
They've just been able to play that very well so far. I mean, getting onto site, getting the plant down, and then proceeding just to hold it. Holding sites for them has been so strong, and it's been very difficult for Miami to get those retakes once NIU has the site. Right now, it seems like trying to prevent the plant needs to be the thing that's done, as Miami right now is just giving up the site, which is not the best idea on split. You have a lot of angles you can play off of. You can try to, there are plenty of ways to get out of most sites. You can either go up the rope on one, or go out the alleyway. There's also the screens area, or just hiding away in that little cubby on the other site. There are other ways to get out of sight, and honestly, playing on and trying to at least take out 1 or 2 with you by playing those little rat corners, playing those little angles, those might be your best bet, especially since giving up the whole site and letting them get the plant down means that they can do the thing that you could also be doing before they even get onto site. You need to be holding it. And so far, we're not seeing much of that, as Miami's kind of just getting dragged around from site to site to site as they run back and forth from NIU just faking each one of them. And for Miami to turn this around, they just got to be sure to hold the site, or at least try to get a pick before NIU pushes on here. But as we have Miami, we have a pretty heavy push towards mid here, as you see 3 people pushing more towards that mid area with Waylay. He's holding, he's waiting. No contact just yet, as we see the Veto utility going out, just waiting for that to go away before he peeks out. Evan watching the corner, not finding any contact, as he now is left alone in mid. Everyone else rotating more towards that B area, just waiting silently. Back up in heaven. Everybody else just playing around each other, No contact, no movement. If Samlon does that again, he might pop a immediately spotting all of the utility being popped out and hides. Honestly, a good call here. Blind going out, does find the veto, but gets taken out by Boo. Moody sitting in this upper area. If he drops down right now, he might be able to kill this op. So we wait a little bit more. No contact, no movement. TPing out, able to find the waylay. Able to find Destroyer through the smoke. Mamba hiding away as we begin to push on. Does not find anybody quite yet. River taking him out, getting the heal on. Smoke down. That he knows that operator is long. Are they going to pop a shot through the smoke? Hopefully it doesn't hit. We continue just to hold. Holding. No contact just yet. The classic. Miami able to find the round. Amazing work coming from Miami, getting that round off. Even though you did lose a lot of your guns, that was still a really good cleanup, especially dropping that op for the enemy.
Finally, Miami picking up a round since pistol round. That was a good job. Great ult from River, able to turn things back around. That's the great part about having Clove on your team. Can bring a losing round back into a winning round, as we saw just right there. But, that was still a bit sloppier than I would like to see from the side of Miami. They were able to save that operator, just going right into the hands of Evan on that chamber. Is hopefully going to get to see some nice value on that. And now you also able to buy guns up pretty much, except for Boo, which I assume will buy a gun here pretty shortly. Yep, there we go. And we do see that and he's going right back for a full A push. Going to use that waylay ult instantly. But Evan able to get a quick shot on the bagel there. It's going to open things up pretty well for Miami. And hopefully they can use that first pick to make things go forward. But, the combination of that Astra ult and that waylay ult there from NIU is able to get them the site pretty easily. And Miami's not able to take any space off of that early initial pick. But NIU here is a little bit scared of this ult. They're going to have to play back onto the site and not get too aggressive here. But as soon as I say that, they're going to push right to the operator, and Evan's going to get a quick headshot onto that. Destroyer able to take down River, who was holding that angle with him, but thankfully Evan was not pushed back into. Trying to push onto this flanker really quick. Was able to get flashed out, scared him away. We'll see if that 1v1 gets won later, but for now, we're going to be following the rest of Miami, who's going to try to push back on the site. Samlon, Modi pushing right onto the site. Able to get one, but able to get traded back out. Modi able to push back through. Evan and Modi versus Vinks on this bomb. They're going to have to start defusing that at some point. Modi decided to defuse the spike. Evan is going to be holding from Vinks. Will Vinks be able to shoot through? Will Vinks be able to shoot them down? Vinks takes down Evan, but Modi's able to defuse the spike and take down Vinks. And that is another round one for Miami. Great stuff from Miami from that round. Looking a lot better, and they really need to bring things back in their favor here. The economy might still be hurting a little bit, even though they won, because everyone else ended up dying, but keeping the operator in the hands of Evan is going to help them get those early picks if NIU decides to dare to swing into the scope of YBG Evan.
Honestly, getting those 3 rounds right now are huge. It is still a comfortable way to go into the next half, while not albeit the most optimal. But having at least those 3 rounds will definitely put them in a little bit more of a comfortable position than they were previously. But as we see them pushing in a little bit more, we see nobody holding mid. Modi holding a little bit more towards male area as we just kind of wait for them to all push up here. You see a very heavy mid presence here with the Viper on A, everyone else more towards that mid, with the Astra holding more towards that garage area. Everybody pushing in, Dog going into vent, not finding any contact, maybe seeing waylay. Unknown about that as we continue just to wait a little bit more. Taking it slow, no contact. Everybody just waiting it out a little bit, trying to find that pick or just trying to find at least some kind of contact. You see the veto ability activate. You see this this waylay. Boo holding this angle, waiting in the corner. No flash going out. Is that going to give them enough information that they need to be able to pick out this corner? So far, it seems like they're lurking up. No movement just yet. Waylay going away, going into that vent area. As you see Modi jump peeking. Nothing quite yet. Also jump peeking. And immediately a bunch of utility getting thrown out. They know they got to start pushing in. Very intelligently deciding he doesn't want to push that. Honestly, a good call as you continue to wait. Still no movement, no contact, hardly. You see that Viper over in the corner. Bagel taking out Samlon getting the kill. Samlon getting another kill. As blind going out. You have 1 over towards the ramp area, 2 on site holding that cross. Astra waiting in that little corner. Nothing quite yet. Are they going to peek out? It seems like Astra's debating it. But we're holding. Not able to get it as Vinks gets a kill on Samlon. Everybody else just waiting it out. Boo holding this corner right here with the operator getting taken out by Evan. 1 remaining. Modi over on the screens. unable to find a kill as he is taken out, and another round goes to NIU.
Yes, that would have been a huge round to win for Miami, but unfortunately, no. Some of those 1v1s were just won by NIU, and that brought things back into their favor. And Miami is yet again on the broker side. They're gonna have to save up for these next couple rounds here, as they're gonna look to try and make sure that Northern Illinois doesn't come out of this half with the most advantage possible. But NIU is looking poised to win another round as they have full guns and full shields yet again with even more money to spare. Miami's gonna have to try to get a thrifty win here would be huge, but even if they can just get a couple of the guns out of the hands of NIU would be enough to maybe have them win some more rounds throughout the rest of this half. But are they going to push through the smoke? It seems like NIU is prepared for aggression from Miami here. And Ninebu able to take down River and Sa, unfortunately, as the rest of Miami is still going to get aggressive towards B. Are they going to get anything? No. Boo's able to get 3 kills, and that shut down Miami's aggression towards mid pretty early, as the rest of Miami is still just going to be sitting there waiting for NIU to potentially push through them.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. Getting that headshot there, but not able to finish him off as we see them pushing up on the Samlon, and the round is finished with a 4K from Boo. No weaponry lost for NIU there. Going into this 11th round, that's going to be quite huge, as they definitely will have enough money for this round and the following round. So now it's not about an eco battle as much as it is for Miami. Miami just has to try to win this round and save as many guns for that last round as they can, or else they're going to be going into a save on that final round. But as we see Miami pushing it a little, or as we see NIU pushing a little bit more towards this B area with that Viper on that alert, as they have done previously. We're waiting it out a little bit more, playing slow, not pushing in quite yet, not much movement. As you see everybody else geared up, but with the veto towards mid a little bit, maybe making some noise to try to draw him away a little bit. Modi continuing to jump peak, not seeing anything quite yet. Sky and Clove playing more towards mid for Miami, and the Waylay and Chamber on A. You see that they've taken garage area, pushing up a little bit more. Stars about to go out. That's going to be a big sign for Miami to start rotating, as once those stars come out, it is a fast push from NIU. So what they have to do is possibly, once they get those stars out, you got to fall back. We see the jump going in, tagging. Oh, amazing ability usage from Boo and the Sky. Samlon taking out Bagel. You see Boo now sitting on site. Evan and Sa having to rotate over from A to try to gain a little bit more contact. But that Viper is mid. Definitely might catch out Sa here. It out. Finds both, and that is a round end for NIU. Once again, maintaining most of their weaponry going into this final round.
Yeah, and they just keep stacking up the money and keeping their weapons, as Miami is really struggling to make any sort of a dent in NIU's economy or their round lead here, as we're going into 3-8 on the final round of this half. And not everyone on Miami is able to purchase any weapons, unfortunately. There are some ults on the side of Miami that could be useful. We do have that Sky ult and that and we do see the Clove ult and the Waylay ult are just 1 point away from activating, but we also see some ults on the side of NIU that could be pretty useful to them. So we'll have to see how these ults play into this final round of the half. But Miami really needs to win this round, or else, they're going to be looking at not going 3-9 into this next half, which is going to look really not great for them. But NIU is going to be popping that Waylay ult pretty early, going to be rushing into B Heaven. The rest of Miami's going to have to fall back and regroup together, as they're probably going to have to play retake yet again, as they're pushed off a site very early by this NIU team.
Seeing here, we have the Sky ult and the Omen ult, so we can use those for a little bit more information. Bagel getting 2 there. Samlon now up in heaven with a Vandal. As you see him getting his recharge shield, ult going out. You do have that Viper mid. It does not find him, which is very unfortunate, as you're going to see another pick here, most likely from the Viper onto Samlon. Pushing up here, that Bowman is in. Yep, there's Mamba picking off another one. We're waiting it out a little bit more. TP going in. Mamba getting taken out. Boo. Wait, Evan alone, but he is able to find more contact. The timing of that. Timing. He sees him. He's waiting. A peek. Nothing just yet, and a jump peek with a shotgun is able to finish Evan off. As the round now moves on a 3-9 half in favor of Northern Illinois University. That was once again, another rough round for Miami.
Yeah, things are not looking great here for Miami on the split map. NAU is looking a lot more prepared, at least on this attacker side of the map. But can Miami flip the script here? They're back on attack. Maybe they can repeat NIU's success. And technically, if things go exactly how things went for NIU, we're going to go to an overtime here. So we'll see what happens if they can exactly flip the script around. But Miami really needs to make sure that they win this pistol round and they can start stacking up these wins early because, like we saw in the last time, even losing one round early on can give NIU the snowball and make even NIU the economy snowball, and then they're going to be struggling for the entire rest of the half here. So these first couple rounds are critical to their success going forward here. Let's see how they attack this A site.
As we push in here, you see everybody holding more toward, you see a big push more towards this ramp area, a bunch of damage going out towards Samlon, and he continues just to sit there in the center of the area and get sprayed down. Falling back immediately. It looks like the others are tagged up a little bit. As we continue on waiting here, no movement just yet. Everyone's slowing down as you have two push more towards mid. That Waylay and that Sky holding that mid area in case they tried to flank or push up. Just no contact, no movement. Viper Wall going in once more, cutting off their angles as they waited out a little bit. Hopefully that smoke goes away soon, as you're going to see a veto potentially. They push in here. Are they going to be able to find anybody? Not quite yet. Sky being dead is very unfortunate as the team slowly getting low. That's going to make them drop health even more. A big kills there for both Destroyer and for Boo. As you see River continually be blind, able to pick off one, unable to pick off another as the round finishes up in favor of NIU, going into that second round with their weapons.
Yes, NIU able to only lose one person there, as you know, NIU in quick succession again able to take three players on the Miami side down. Miami's gonna be forced onto another safe round again, while NIU is able to buy some weapons up here. We'll see if Miami can end up getting a thrifty in the second round and turning things around like NIU did last time, but you know, obviously it's gonna be very difficult for them to do. Miami just really needs to try as hard as they can to put a lot of pressure on this NIU team and potentially do exactly what they were doing to them this last round, which, you know, was pushing very fast on the site, forcing NIU to play for a retake and then holding those angles very, very well. But they decided to go for a 5 push towards mid, which NIU seems to be backing off from a little bit. We do see 9 Boo on NIU just going to be jiggle peeking that back and forth on B Heaven. And Miami still looks like they're going to wanting to push through this. Their Viper on the side of NIU is going to be pushing through this time too. Let's see if they're prepared. Suh decides to dash through towards B Heaven, has that classic out at the ready. It's going to force 9Boo to back out, and their Sky is going to flash to the smoke, but it's going to back out as well. Miami has that Heaven control, but they still have to make their way onto the site. Modi is going to try to TP onto the site. Minx, though, able to take down one. 9Boo taking down another. Modi taking down one. But the rest of Miami just falls thanks to NIU's stronger guns here, bringing things to 3-11. If you're Miami, this is not looking very great for you. You know, you're NIU's only 2 rounds away from winning. You only have 1 round available to lose before things go from bad to even worse. But Miami has these guns available. Lacking a little bit on the shields. The shield's variety, but you know, at least they have these Vandals. They can maybe take these ones a little bit better, maybe take these fights a little bit better, and try to put the pressure onto NIU. But NIU's looking unstoppable right now, both in economy, in round advantage, and in gameplay. So we'll see how Miami can maybe turn this around on this split map.
I've noticed consistently that River does not usually buy shields. I understand that that Clove does have that ability, which is able to give you the shield, but it is just a thing that has continually happened. But as we see them pushing in here, you see them pushing more towards this Heaven once more, into Mail. Unable to take the pick, but Samlon is able to pick off one, finds another pick on the Sky. Samlon on 1 HP. Modi pushing onto site, getting the plant down here as 2 of them remain in spawn. Viper going towards Heaven, towards Samlon. Both of them playing up in rafters. This could be quite a big play depending upon how this played. If they peek from Heaven, both are probably going to die. They should probably try to stagger at least a little bit so that they don't have a big situation here. But you hear both of them. Oh, Samlon getting a pick again, taking out the veto, as you see an upper lower split. Samlon with the 4K on 1 HP. 1 HP. Now that is huge. An amazing round finish for Samlon and for Miami as we go into this next round. Hopefully able to continue this momentum as you see NIU with full weapons and shields.
Samlon yet again pulling through for the team and getting a nice 4K, which able to have them win the round. But, you know, of course, Miami, after a pretty decent round win, was only able to keep 1 gun again, so the economy's still hurting. And, you know, they still have to bring this gap back. You know, Miami needs to prove that they can still win these rounds without some sort of hero plays from individual their players. Can they use their teamwork together to win a round? Then things might be looking a little bit better for the side of Miami. But they're going to be pushing a little bit more splits back towards B and A. They're going to send a couple towards B, a couple towards A. Leave that spike down in the A side spawn, so they still have a little bit of flexibility on where to go. We'll see which side they end up pushing through here. So like Sun's going to try to take some early space onto a Heaven, but no one from NIU is there just yet. Someone might be climbing back up from Vent, and Bagel's about to swing this angle. Sun getting out of there before something may potentially was wrong. Swinging through. 3 of NIU is right here. Able to take down 9 Boo, but is taken very low by that outlaw shot, and it seems like Miami might just decide to take that spike and go right back towards that B site.
Immediately leave. Suh is able to get back to full HP as that outlaw does go down. So that's a big hitter right there. As you see, a bunch of our teammates right now have light shields or no shields. And that weapon right there is kind of terrifying on this kind of buy. But as you see the Sky and the Astra holding close here. Spike or Blind going out, holding close. Oh my, what?
Okay, I guess they're just gonna yeah, I guess Destroyer's just gonna get a 5K. Why not? Why not? Why isn't he just gonna get an ace there? That is really not great for Miami, as they just swung into Destroyer, and unfortunately we didn't watch his POV, but I guess just had the aim, the spray of a lifetime there, as I just not really sure what happened there. And Miami is back against the wall, 4-12. Barely able to scrape anything by for guns and down on ultimates. Things are really not looking good here for Miami. But, you know, we've seen comebacks happen before. Let's see if they can make it happen here.
Oh, interesting blind usage as we see them pushing in here. Evan swinging out and about to find a little bit more contact. Backside Vito TPing out. A very good TP, as he probably would have been pinched there and taken out. Pushing it a little bit more. Suh spraying through the smoke, not finding anything. A big usage of utility. Plant going down. More of these slows getting used. Oh my goodness. More contact. Boo. Die. Oh. Only one remaining right now is Modi, and Modi gets pieced up. And sadly, NIU takes the round and takes the game, taking the match. GG's to NIU. They played that split map very well, getting onto site, getting those plant down, and just playing out of their mind, honestly. There was a few unfortunate rounds there, especially near the end with Destroyer getting that massive ace. Honestly, it was an eco diff. It was a shooting diff. Like, consistently, they were getting more kills than we could, and they were keeping the rounds uneven in their favor. And it was kind of just a climb if we wanted each round. Like, we had to kill. Like, each person had to get at least like a 2 to 3K just for the rounds to go over in our favor. But no surprise there. We're seeing the Destroyer on top frag with 19 and 6, which is just a very impressive KD, especially in this kind of setting. And our Sky at the top with a 12-16. But consistently, we see Miami was dying a lot and not able to match up with the kills. So consistently, we were down in economy and down in guns and down in men and unable to keep up with it, as we see NIU taking this game as well.
Yeah, we see both Skies at the top of the map. We did see Samlon with that 4K, did provide some light to the side of Miami, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to pull through. And I've got to hand it to NIU, at least for that split map. They looked like they were clearly dominant. They clearly had a better strategy going into this map, and it just seemed like nothing was really going well for Miami. And the team has definitely been struggling. We see those deaths racking up. It's NIU was able to win these aim duels a lot and stack up those kills. A lot of those rounds were because of kill wins, or Miami was all dying as a team very often, which is really unfortunate for them, and kept the snowball eco going for NIU. And it seems like this NIU team might be a bit dangerous, especially when you give them any sort of economy lead. They tend to just take the lead and grasp onto it compared to Miami these last 2 maps. But I will say Miami's Corrode looked the best. This is probably the best I've seen them on that Corrode map. But, for these last couple of maps, it's been really unfortunate here. And, NIU has seemed like the more practiced team. And I think Miami just going forward just needs to keep practicing together. They're still a pretty young, pretty scrappy team. Maybe they haven't even tried to work out too many split strategies yet, and maybe that's why it didn't look so great. There's different things that we could look into going through this, but either way, great stuff for NIU. They won 2-1 fair and square. And Miami is going to be looking to maybe take this weekend off and try to get back prepared for this next match on Tuesday, which I believe is against. I honestly am not sure.
I'm not sure either.
But this next match for Miami will hopefully go better for them. They have some time to practice. They have some time to prepare. Maybe work out some kinks. maybe decide, what maps, maybe their map ban phase might be going through. Maybe decide, maybe splits a map that we should ban first, or just decide to practice it more. We'll have to see. But that, I think, is going to be it for tonight for our next map. Our next opponent should be against Western Michigan on next Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. But if you're here for just more Miami, or if you like League of Legends as well, we'll be against Western Michigan on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern for Miami League of Legends versus Western Michigan. But if you're just here for Valorant, tune in next Tuesday at 8 p.m. for Valorant versus Western Michigan. But for now, I've been Trey Linkling Moss.
And I'm Lucas White.
And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys next Tuesday with more Valorant, but have a good night.
Adios.